well. Oh, well.
Oh, well.
Hi.
Hi, everybody.
Thanks for coming out. This is going to be a bit of a different one.
Yes.
We don't do a whole lot of openings on our Monday Night Magic streams.
No.
Well, we have done a couple.
Sometimes.
But it's not the most regular thing. Welcome.
Oh, excitement. Excitement. We got a computer, but we're not set up yet.
Yeah.
So
that'll be something we'll be working on to try to figure out and improve our formatting.
It's just a laptop, so hopefully it'll be good enough. Oh, wow. Your box brought some dust over.
Oh, sorry.
I hope you guys are all having good. I see that Broly was in and Ryan was in before we started, so thank you guys for popping in.
Yeah. So today we're going to be digging into these. Now we're going to be taking our time with it a little bit because I don't get to do this very much. We picked that up over a year ago when the local stores in our area, our extended area, I suppose, were still had a few boxes, and we're just trying to push them out the door because hype was still fairly low about that set at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So we got it at a fairly decent price for as far as collector booster boxes go, and have watched the price creep up and creep up and creep up over the last year as I was waiting for a nice opportunity to open it.
Yeah. So now it
was in part a birthday present for me last
Yes.
year. So, like I said, I've just been waiting for the right occasion. Previously, I've opened a total of 4 of the collector's boosters for the Tales of Middle-earth Lord of the Rings. 2 of the original and 2 of the special edition. And of the 2, I find the special edition a little bit more interesting. I mean, the hit rates on the Elvish Soul Rings and Dwarven and the different themed Soul Rings are very low. So they don't come up much, and it's just one interesting card, and I'd love to get one. But that's the real sort of main unique draw to the original collector boosters. And of course the 1 of 1, which, is one and done. But these ones have a variety of things in them. They've got the new scroll borders, which
tripped over a toy.
Yeah, that happens. Which are very fitting for the literary theme of the set. They've also got the posters and the Hildebrand arts and surge foils, which before this set released.
Before this set released.
Yes, before they came out with the special edition here, surge foils were quite rare. And then in this box, you would tend to get multiple surge foils in each pack. And surge foil pricing, it became far less special a thing.
Okay.
But I was noticing a few things about the set. They also included the new scene posters that came out around that time. So here's one of them that I got in my 2 packs before. I've since collected the scene boxes to get the full scenes, but those cards are available. You can get those in there too, on top of the original Commander cards, on top of the regular set with all the different borders and different foilings and different treatments, and you can get the box toppers out of there. So there's all kinds of different potential juicy pulls that aren't all that likely, but are possible. And so from the different angles, you can find something really
I think people just want to see you rip open the box. Possible.
Yeah, partially.
But people come like, oh, he hasn't started opening yet. Let's leave.
Well, there's that. But I've also, like to see a few more people trickle in before we get started.
Oh, yes,
too.
For sure. Hey, Ryan, thank you.
Very
Appreciate
much,
it.
Ryan. So here's a couple of the surge foils that I pulled in my previous 2 boosters. Here's another one from those scenes. I got a Nazgul Battle Mace in surge foil. I got a Shelob of Ungoliant. In surge foil, which got me thinking, because surge foils come in the later part of the pack. It's usually where all the rares are. Well, a chunk of the rares, not all the rares. But there's one slot in there where you get an uncommon, and the uncommon can either land as a surge foil, in the section in the last second last card of the pack, or the uncommon can land in the last card of the pack, in which case it's not going to be a poster, it's going to be one of the Hildebrands. I think there's only 4 uncommons among the Hildebrands. But if it's in that other slot, that's the only place I've seen where you can get Surge Foil uncommons from the set. And you can't get any uncommon in the set in Surge Foil. There's only certain ones. So they must
Hello,
have kept
UT. I'm just going to
the
say
list
UT.
that you can get of that pretty low, really. Which I just find interesting. I've never found a list of exactly which uncommons you can get in Surge Foil. I'm sure it exists somewhere. There's so many different sets and subsets and different things that are added on that you could only get in, one product or another. There's so many different products. With this set, it's really hard to keep track of everything. At one point, I was trying to collect the set. I've since given up that it's ever going to happen fully. I'd still like to complete the main set. I'm going to switch the camera now so that we can take a look at a few of the other things that I pulled in my 2 packs here for a minute before we get started, and just yap a little bit more about the product and the set in general. Whoop. So I had the art cards, and as you can see, I was collecting just sort of the main series set that I was getting out of set boosters, largely that we could find at the time in our local Walmart. I still haven't finished it. I've got a few gaps. I've made twice a list of all the cards I'm missing. They've both gone missing, unfortunately. So,
is it just a bad focus? Why it's not, the focus looks a little bad on my side.
Well, when I flip a page, it has trouble knowing what to focus on. That's part of it. But yeah, definitely still missing a couple of cards. Not sure what all of them are by any means, but I'm going to have to keep that in mind and sort of check later or check as we go. I did have some good luck. The best pack I ever opened, for a set booster anyway, had 2 Orcish Bowmasters in it. One, the regular treatment, and one, a foil of the from the big set scene things at the back here. So, but I'm going just into the set briefly because I have used odds and ends, as you can see as we've gone along. You might have spotted the odd foil. If there was a card that I found first in foil, or haven't found a regular one but I have a foil copy, I've used that to fill it in. I have never pulled the One Ring, but I got one of the bundles which came with a One Ring from a little mini scene with Gollum and Frodo. So I've got that filling in the spot of the One Ring for me.
Broly, I just messaged him to say that we're live now because he wanted to know that we were live.
Okay.
So,
and one of the other Surge foils I pulled fell into that same category. I did not have an Anduril.
Hey, Dragonfang Dan, thank you.
But I did pull a Surge Anduril. And so that's currently holding down the spot. That's Galamdring. I don't have a Galamdring of any form, so I do know what some of the gaps I have are. And so, yeah.
There's Broly.
I'm very willing to use those to fill in some holes. When it gets to the ring treatments, I've got a lot more holes.
We haven't started opening yet. We're trying to get some people in, but and so we're killing time.
Yeah, I'm just going over my brief experience opening this before, which amounted to all of 2 packs.
We're doing good.
So at the first 4 cards of the pack are...
I don't know Magic, but I do know Lord of the Rings. Well, then you should enjoy this then.
Hopefully. The first 4 cards in the packs are 2 commons and... 8 cards in the pack, isn't it?
I don't know.
It's 2 commons and 2 uncommons with the scroll treatment that aren't foil, followed by 2 commons and 2 uncommons in the scroll treatment that are foil. And so these were, for my 2 packs, my first cards. These are the non-foils first. I pulled a Reprieve, Rosy Cotton, Rally of the Hornburg, Relentless Rohirrim, Meriadoc, Strider, Lembas, and Inherited Envelope for my non-foils in 2 packs.
Broly's asking if there's any good chases in this box.
There are lots of good cards that you can chase. Almost all the poster cards are sought after. Some are much more sought after than others. So, in general, in a box like this, I mean, it can vary widely. I've seen boxes with only one or none. I've seen boxes with as many as 5 poster cards. But expectation is you get one foil, one non-foil, and sometimes one more that can be either or the other. So 2 to 3 poster cards. You can also, if you're lucky, get some of the box toppers. I typically see maybe one of those a box. I haven't been paying as close uh, to those. You also get every pack. The last card is either a poster card or a Hildebrand art, and I'll show the 2 Hildebrand arts I opened in my 2 packs momentarily. These were the foil scroll border common and uncommons. Rohirrim Lancer, Old Man Willow, Wizard Rockets, and another Strider. So I got a Strider and a foil, the silver foil treatment, which does not. It's more subtle than a lot of other foils, so it's hard to get it to show up on camera, to be perfectly honest. It is a more subtle foiling, especially when I got the glint of the sleeve working against me too, or the page.
Thankfully, we didn't pay the current price of this box.
Absolutely not. We did not at all. Do we want to share how much we paid for this box?
Yeah, I guess you can.
I will momentarily. But yeah, there's the scroll borders on some of the commander cards as well. We're in there. And here's the 2 Hildebrand arts I got. Second Harvest was my rare one. And I got one of the uncommons, the Myriad Landscape. So I'm hoping if I get really lucky, I'll get the other 3 uncommon ones and another couple of the rare, maybe even a mythic. If there are, I think there must be mythics. Not entirely sure of the Hildebrand arts. And then here's the box topper I pulled from my box of set boosters. Fangorn Forest. And this is one I just grabbed at a store because it was there and it was cheap. So those are my 2 box topper cards. Realms and Relics, they called that subset. And I'm hoping for some of those as well. But yeah, that's my little collection, which I'm hoping to flush out with some more goodies from this. Are these all the sleeves we have? We might need more.
I don't know. We might have to use some of the Pokemon ones.
We'll see. So yeah, when we got these, it was just to the tail end of the time you could find them on the shelves commonly in stores, and they were pushing it the last because it didn't seem to be as popular a product at the time. So the store we got this from had this priced initially at $450 a box, which is more than I usually like to spend on a box of anything. These days, sadly, that sort of price is becoming more and more common. They had put it on sale to try and push out what they had, and we got them for $50 off. So it was $400 a box when we picked this up. And that's Canadian dollars for those of you down in the United States. So what would that be US about a year ago? Probably about 275 maybe.
No idea.
A little under 300. So that's a good price,
yeah,
considering what the prices on these things have done since. Last I checked.
So that's why we're not going to be ripping them open like I do Pokemon cards.
No, absolutely not. Last I checked, if you're looking for a box of this now on the market, it's going for over $1,500 US a box. It's ridiculous. Not something I would just buy to open at that price typically. But, like I said, to me, this is a much more affordable box from what we paid for it. I just didn't find a celebration opportunity to dig in like we have tonight. So this is a big thank you in part.
Void would be good one to check prices on the Magic stuff.
It could be. This is a nice one to do to enjoy for myself for sure, because I love Lord of the Rings, but also as a thank you for everyone who's been supporting us. So here's the box. Keep it secret and keep it safe. These special edition collector boosters for the Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth are overflowing with treasure any and all fans will find precious. Inside, you'll discover silver foils, showcase cards, and even surge foils. And again, surge foils were fairly rare before this product came out. This product made them more common somewhat. For these special boosters only, you may also find showcase scrolls of Middle-earth cards, borderless Brothers Hildebrandt cards, and again, that's the last card in each pack unless it's a poster. So there'll be 12 total posters plus Hildebrandt cards out of this box. And borderless poster cards, which is what I was just mentioning. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody.
Yeah, we did dress up for that.
Nice to celebrate for sure. Is there anything else that's worth paying close attention to on this before I rip open the plastic? What are collector boosters? Well, if you're coming from a Pokemon background, basically collector boosters are a box of God packs is the closest thing I can think of.
Yeah, I guess, kind of like
because you get 5 rare or higher rarity cards in every pack, and they're generally expensive as the packs go. So, and there's Greg and Tim Hildebrandt. They've got the box art here, both sides from them, as well as those special cards. So
yeah, they are pricey. How much was that? Well, when we paid for it, we said it was $3.99, right? Canadian,
yeah. We paid $400 for it Canadian as a special treat for me that I was just holding on to. And again, if we're converting that to American funds, you're probably looking at that was about $2.75.
Maybe, I don't know what the dollar was. It was higher.
Maybe it was as much as $300. I don't know exactly what the exchange rate was. It might have been closer to $300, but still,
stronger back then.
that was a good price then.
Yeah,
and it's an even better price looking back now. So
yeah, we're definitely. I don't think we're gonna make what the value of the box is now.
No, I don't think so.
You need to open that in front of the camera.
Letter opener here.
Yeah.
Which.
Oops. You might be able to go and find out what the price, what the value of the dollar was on that date if we knew exactly.
I'm sure there's ways to look it up, but so there's the shrink wrap.
Oh my goodness, it's kind of cringy just as we're taking it off, realizing what we're doing right now.
Yes.
The value is now. Well, I guess you could still sell the boosters.
You could, but
oh my goodness, I can't believe we're doing this. This is gonna be our most expensive product we've ever opened. Oh my goodness.
Well, if you look at the current pricing, yeah. Does this fold down further? No, I think it stays like that. Okay.
You got another box? We have one that's going to be staying sealed.
Yes, at the time when that sale was on, I hemmed and hawed and decided to grab a second one. So I do have a second one that I'm planning on keeping sealed for the foreseeable future. So I did get 2, so I still have one for our little sealed collection for the time being.
Oh my goodness. I'm getting shivers. Oh my goodness.
So there's even the wrappers on these. I think they did.
That's pretty cool.
A nice job.
Goodness. So, okay.
So yeah, here we go. Includes 2 to 3 surge foils and 5 to 6 silver foil cards. May contain these cards, and it shows you which cards in the set might be in there.
Goodness.
And it's a more substantial list than most other types of boosters. Like I said, there were so many products for this. Trying to track all this down was a nightmare. And that's why I don't think I'll ever finish this set fully. Includes 5 cards of rarity rare or higher, and 5 uncommon, 4 common, and 1 land cards. Serialized cards are in less than 1% of boosters. Oh yeah, serialized cards. Those are so rare that I didn't even think to mention them when I was describing earlier.
That's crazy valuable. I think we should,
There are a bunch of cards in here. All the poster cards. I think there's 20 different posters. All of those, plus I think the box stopper cards, were all released as one of one, or numbered out of 100 serialized cards. So 100 of each, with a special printing. There is no chance of the 1 of 1 ring that was in the previous collector booster boxes, and it was gone by the time this product even released.
Yeah, Post Malone bought that.
But yes.
I think it was a guy in Toronto.
But the other serialized
got
cards
it.
in here do go for a pretty penny. If one of those turned up,
We'd probably
any
sell it.
serialized card, I think they go for minimum $1,000 now for the most part. Like they're ridiculously pricey. What are you talking about?
She was
Sis?
sneezing and got a clogged nose.
Okay.
Find the Benadryl and get me a measuring device, and I'll help you.
All right. We got a couple of kids who've got the sniffles or coughs or things, unfortunately, today.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think Post Malone bought the one of one ring off of somebody in Toronto, I think. So. Oh my goodness. What's the Benadryl? I love my daughter, guys.
2023. So yeah, it's hard to believe that these are. The set is almost 2 years old now, and these packs here are a little over a year old. They came out in the fall.
Grab all? Oh shoot, where's the Benadryl?
I know it's really hard to get your hands on this. I wish I was into Magic then. Yeah, this was basically what got me back into Magic at all. Because I had taken about a decade off before this set released. These collector boosters, they do a good job of sealing them. The glue is a little firmer than most. So let's see what we got in the first pack here. Were you trying to clip this, or I guess we can worry about that later. So we get a token card. We got an Orc Army. And food token. It's pretty standard from what I recall. So here's our first scroll common. And again, there's 4 commons in each box and 5 uncommons. 4 of the uncommons will be with the 4 commons at the front. And then you'll have the rare section at the back, where 1 uncommon will be either the last or second last card.
We'll take one of these with some water.
We got the Urkai Berserker, creature, Orc Berserker, 3/2 for 3. When Urkai Berserker enters the battlefield, the ring tempts you. And that was a whole nother mechanic just for this set. The ring tempting you, there was 4 different levels of, which gave you little bonuses for one of your creatures. Basically. What of the dawn? We are the Urkai. We do not stop the fight for night or day, for fair weather or for storm. We come to kill by sun or moon. What of the dawn? Yeah, there's still other One Rings, and with, like I said, the 20 cards that they made poster treatments of that you can get in this, the One Ring is one of them, and therefore there is also serialized whatever number out of 100 poster cards, and the foil poster cards especially. So if you pulled a foil poster One Ring that was serialized, that is still worth a pretty penny these days. That would be, I think that's the single best pull you could get out of one of these packs.
Yeah.
Would be a serialized One Ring poster.
And I think we should probably sell that if we pulled it and go and buy other stuff.
I think we would start with grading it and then decide from there.
Yeah.
So we got, here's one of our common unfoil. Here's the next one. Ologhai Crusher. 4/4 for 4, trample. It can't block unless you control a goblin or an orc. Trolls were abroad, no longer dull-witted, but cunning and armed with dreadful weapons.
Saying that these cards look absolutely amazing.
They do. At first I wasn't sure what to think of the little scroll border as opposed to the classic Magic borders. But, for this set, I think it's very fitting. I wouldn't want it in all the sets.
I like that.
Why Here the Windlord is an uncommon, non-foil.
Ryan, my precious.
4/4 for 6. This spell costs 2 less to cast as long as you've drawn 2 or more cards this turn. So that takes a little setup. Flying and Vigilance. Vigilance means you can still block with it. It's untapped after you or when you attack. And other birds you control have Vigilance. So, very nice bird lord here. Next we have Ranger's Firebrand. again for an uncommon without the foiling. 1 red sorcery. It deals 2 damage to any target, and the ring tempts you, so it helps you get that ring tempt mechanic going again. Keep close to the fire with your faces outward. Get some of the longer sticks ready in your hands. So one strider was helping the band of hobbits
That artist is
fend
really
off
cool.
the ring wraiths attack at Weathertop. It is cool. There's actually a what's it called? In the old Decipher Lord of the Rings game, there's a torch type card that can be carried that is good for fighting off Nazgul, which is one of the best weapons in the game. So I think in the set it's one of the most sought after cards, and it's just, you know, a flaming stick basically. But that's a much lower key take on it. Still nice though. Rush the Room. So this should be, yes, this is, again, these are the silver foils. Can I put this side by side with the card and show it better?
You can't really see the foil on it, can you?
On the camera,
How about the lighting? Like,
I don't know. I mean, it looks a little glossier, but that's
a little bit better.
It really doesn't show the foiling much justice.
In person.
It is. Anyway, so here's my first common, Rush the Room.
Are you opening the box? We've already started, yeah.
Yep. This is pack 1, and we're going to go through the whole box here today. Instant for 1. Target creature gets +1 attack and gains first strike until end of turn. If it's an orc or a goblin, it also gains haste until end of turn. There was a horn blast and a rush of feet, and orcs, one after another, leaped into the chamber. So that's Balin's tomb over here, I guess, and the orcs coming in, trying to get at the party. They were holed up in there. I'm going to try and keep things in somewhat of an order so I can track what I get in each slot, maybe. Bombadil's Song, our second common foil.
Oh, nice.
2 for an instant. Target creature you control gets +1/+1 and gains hexproof until end of turn. The ring tempts you. Hey doll, merry doll, ring-a-ding-dillo, ring-a-dong, hop along, fal-lal the willow, Tom Bomb Jolly Tom Bombadillo. Oh, this looks familiar. I think I already had one of these, but not in the foil.
Ooh, nice.
So Reprieve.
That is nice.
It's a decent card for playing, too. 2 mana for an instant. You get to draw a card to replace it. Return target spell to its owner's hand. So that basically makes them recast it. You have to do it as they're playing it. So it's sort of like a counterspell in that respect, except it puts it back in their hand, which can slow them down. But you do get to draw cards, so there's that. As Faramir and Éowyn stood so, their hands met and clasped, though they did not know it. And yeah, my only beef with this card is their vastly different portrayal of a character like Éowyn, who is on the front of the box here as well. And that's my main grief, and it's not unique to the Éowyn character. It seems like almost half the characters in this set they've chosen very interesting ways to portray. I'll just put it at that. Next we have Faramir, which is very on brand. So Faramir Field Commander, 3/3 for 4, legendary human soldier. At the beginning of your end step,
we are doing good.
If a creature died under your control this turn, draw a card. When the ring tempts you, if you chose a creature other than Faramir, and that's because the ring will give bonuses to one of your creatures, Field Commander as your ring bearer, create a 1/1 white human soldier token and a chance for Faramir, Captain of Gondor, to show his quality. So he can make you some more soldiers too. That's nice.
Ooh.
Next we're on to our land, and the lands,
so pretty.
The lands in these box, I believe, all have this surge foil treatment.
Look at that.
So I was going through and counting the map lands that I've got, and I think I'm up 15 of like swamps and plains, but the other ones have only got like 6 to 9 of
Oh,
each.
these are so pretty.
They are. This is one of my favorite things they did. I really appreciate the book quotes and the flavor text on a lot of these cards, but the fact that they also used the Tolkien style maps for half of the lands, only half the lands got that treatment. But
Oh, look how
they're
shiny.
they're my
That's
favorites.
gorgeous.
Yeah, there's the Dead Marshes on the way to Mordor, the Immeln Weir, the East Emlet, and the White Mountains. So White Mountains are leading towards Gondor, the East Emlet. Rohan would be off that way somewhere.
Oh, I love the. Oh, these
And if
look
you've
amazing.
kept following the river further up, I believe you would get to Lothlorien. All right, now our first rare.
Ooh, Legolas Greenleaf.
Yes. Now this is the Legolas from the Commander decks, not the main set. So this is the one you'd get probably in the Elf deck, I guess.
Hold it back a bit. It's a little.
Yeah.
The focus is not very good right now.
Not the best, unfortunately. So he's a 2/2 for 3 with reach, which means you can block creatures with flying. That's probably a reference in the book to when Legolas shot down one of the Nazgul as it was flying over when they were on the riverside before the Fellowship broke up. They heard the screeching of the Nazgul on wings, basically flying over, and he shot it in the dark, and its mount plummeted to the far side of the river. Legolas Greenleaf can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. Whenever another legendary creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on him. And whenever he deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Interesting little combination of abilities. And that's non-foil, but scroll pattern. Next, we have a foil in the scroll pattern, also from the Commander deck. We have Monstrosity of the Lake. So this is the beast that grabbed Frodo as they were trying to get into the Mines of Moria. I don't know how if the centering on these is a little bit widely varied. I'm looking at the commons and uncommons. This one is very thin on the top in terms of its border, thicker on the bottom.
Could that be like normal though?
No.
No?
No, look at these other cards here. Like here's the Ragers brand, right?
But that one's got some foil, like it's got like a ribbon on top though. So that might be. It's got different ribbons, like the borders.
Yeah, like the guy here there. I suppose they've given legendary creatures an extra furl on the.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe. When Monstrosity of the Lake enters the battlefield, you may pay 5. If you do, tap all creatures that your opponents control and put a stun counter on each of those creatures. Creatures with a stun counter won't untap as normal. You just remove the stun counter instead. And then island cycling 2. So if you got this stuck in your opening hand and you don't have 5 to play it, but you got 2 lands, you could basically discard this to go get another land. So you're not just stuck with a card you can't play. Next, we have Mordor on the March. This is from one of those scene boxes, but again, it's Commander card.
It looks cool though.
It does look cool.
Don't you wish like the prices of each of the card would just pop up so we could keep track?
That would be nice. I don't know. So far, there hasn't been anything that I'm like, ooh, check that, but I'm sure there will be.
I just like that land.
Exile a creature card from your graveyard. Create a creature token that's a copy of it. It gains haste until end of turn. Exile it at the beginning of the end step. And it's got Storm.
Broly says it's a cool looking card.
It is a neat looking card for sure.
Oh my goodness, the
Storm cards can be quite powerful because they make more copies of themselves, basically, depending on how many spells were cast that turn.
Ooh,
Horn of Gondor.
Oh, it's that
in
foil.
The Surge foil, yes.
That is beautiful.
That is nice.
Do we want to sleep for that one or?
I don't think. I mean, there's 2 horns. There's Horn of the Gondor and Horn of the Mark. One of them is better than the other one. So let's see. What's this one do?
It's so pretty.
When Horn of Gondor enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 human soldier token. And you can pay 3 and tap it to create X. white human soldier creature tokens, where X is the number of humans you control. So this one can build you an army of soldiers very quickly and fairly efficiently, depending on how many you've got in play. So that is actually a decent card.
I'm trying to see which one.
Yeah, it seems to be
not crazy.
Probably not.
Is it this one? Is it extended art? Yeah, maybe.
This is borderless, I think, and surge foil. Surge foil is going to be the most unique characteristic.
Surge foil.
Anyway.
Scroll showcase.
It's probably sort of a $5 to $10 card.
The most expensive one is $15.
Next, we have a rare. Now, this is a little bit of a letdown because this is the second last card in the pack, which means the last card's going to be an uncommon. Either the second last card is an uncommon.
Ooh, that art is cool, though.
Or the last card is an uncommon. If the last card is an uncommon, that means it cannot be one of the posters.
Collector has this set listed. I don't know of any other places to look at prices. I think you can also look up prices on TCG Player for Magic. It's just, they don't have all the cards there.
Any big card shop for Magic the Gathering, like in Canada, we've got 401
we just look
Games,
up card shops.
Or something like a Star City Games down in the States probably would have them as well. That's not the most accurate pricing, but it would at least give you a ballpark.
That art is cool, though.
Yeah, Courageous Resolve, and again, this is a surge foil of one of the those poster pack cards that they came out with. Up to one target creature you control gains protection from each of your opponents until end of turn. Draw a card. So, and then Fateful Hour. If you have 5 or less life, you can't lose life this turn. You can't lose the game this turn, and your opponent can't win the game this turn. So if something was going to happen that was going to cause you to win, but you're low on life.
Foil. But that might not be the current price. It was $4 last time they had one in stock.
Last time they had one in stock. And then our last one here is Explore. So Explore is uncommon. It's one of the Hildebrandt arts, Greg and Tim Hildebrandt. It's one of the 3 uncommons that I didn't have. So I was hoping to finish out those uncommons. And that will go towards that. I want to see less uncommons in this slot overall. But, since it is one of the ones I was missing. So there's at least that. So the advantage of not having opened much of this set is that even the not so great hits are still something nice that I appreciate for sure. And this is, you may recognize the same picture that they used on the back of the box here, except it's foiled and has a bunch of text over top, but it's the same art there. So that's cool. 2 for a sorcery. You may play an additional land this turn and draw a card.
That's a nice card.
Do not be afraid, said Gandalf, for you are not going like Frodo to Mordor, but to Minas Tirith, and there you will be as safe as you can be anywhere in these days. So I appreciate that for sure. I need to readjust this a little, I think, just so that I can get more of what I've opened so far into the field.
Oh, hey, here's the non-foil one of that Courageous Resolve one.
You know what? I'm going to put this down here since it's one of the Hildebrandts, and then I can put Hildebrandts and posters. If I get any beside, I'll put posters.
There's the non-foil one.
Yeah, but this time I got a surge foil one. So that's pack 1.
Oh my goodness. Are you going to let me open any?
If you'd like to.
At some point. I wouldn't mind opening one.
Not the last pack.
Last pack's yours. Got it.
I definitely wanted to open the first and the last, and probably most.
Oh,
but
this pack's getting
this pack's getting mangled, unfortunately. I'm not... Like I say, the glue on these is a little stronger than some. Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness. You should have scissors or something.
Maybe. I mean, that has hazards, too.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with scissors. Ah. It's crazy.
Almost. Okay, that'll work. Okay. So, at the back, I've got Different Orc Army. This was my first one. So you can see they've got a few different arts for Orc Army. And on the back of the token is different food token. Because this food token was not for Shelob.
Oh, spider food. Ooh, cringy.
Yeah. Hobbit food versus spider food. I know which one I prefer.
Oh, it is.
All right, so scroll foil commons. We got a Took Reaper, 2 for a 2/1.
That is really nice. I like the look of the card.
Reaper dies, the rings tempts you. The Tooks came 100 strong from Tuckborough and the Green Hills. So this is from a chapter that got caught from the films, The Scouring of the Shire, when they were trying to get the ruffians back out of the Shire. Next we have
Fire of Orthanc.
Fire of Orthanc.
Or Orthac. Sorry, I said knack.
Orthanc. It's
that
one of the words that I'm not 100% certain on, but something like that. Anyways, forecast. Destroy target artifact or land. Creatures without flying can't block this turn. So it's a little more expensive pillage, but it's also got that that extra thing about creatures without flying can't block. So that can help your attack. The barricade was scattered as if by a thunderbolt. That's when the wall came down at Helm's Deep. Next we've got Grishnak, Brash Instigator.
That part was even in the extended edition of the movie. Which part? Sorry, the Scouring of the Shire. No, there's a few things that weren't in either edition, and a few things that they sort of condensed into other bits. But yeah, I always preferred the book myself, although I think they did a decent job at the Peter Jackson trilogy. There were sacrifices that had to be made to get it into the runtime they had to work with, which was already pushed. So, Grishnak, Brash Instigator, 1/1 for 3, Legendary Goblin Soldier. When Grishnak enters the battlefield, amass orcs 2. So basically that means if you don't have an orc army, you make one, and then you put that many +1/+1 counters on it. You think they could have made like a 5?
If you already have one, you just add that many counters to your existing orc army. Sorry?
Do you think it would have been better if they just like made it into a 5-movie series instead of a trilogy?
Oh, honestly, that was never going to happen. But honestly, if they really want to make one that's more accurate to the books, I would say they would need at least 6 films.
Okay.
Like 2 per book. The original Lord of the Rings book is actually broken up into 6 sections itself. So even then, you'd still be pressed to get everything in, I think.
4 hours for each extended edition and still couldn't fit it all. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, when you do, until end of turn, gain control of target non-legendary creature an opponent controls with power less than or equal to the amassed army's power. Untap that creature, it gains haste until end of turn. Okay, so this is... It builds on your orc army and lets you temporarily steal one of your opponent's creatures. That could be quite strong.
I wonder if we should have let your brother know when we were doing this.
Oh, that's a good call. I probably should have.
I can take the phone and go call and see if he's
interested, but
or we just
honestly, he was
later.
He wasn't as big a Lord of the Rings fan as I was, but I should have mentioned it. Anyhow, instant for 4. The spell costs 3 less to cast if it targets a creature that was dealt damage this turn. Yep. Destroy target creature, its controller loses 2 life. I tried to take the ring from Frodo. I am sorry, I have paid.
Do they make him dark?
I think, you see, a lot of the art style in this set is very just dark overall. I talked about that when we did a little
his brother very light examination. So it seems
no, I don't think so. I think
just a darker.
I think it's just sort of shadows under the trees, and it's just a dark overall picture.
Well, you never know with this.
Well, sometimes you do know, but
ooh, a foil.
Banish from Edoras.
Right.
So this is here where Eomer is being thrown out by Grima. And again, a lot of the Rohirrim. So Eowyn, his sister, Eomer here, King Theoden, they
Were they all supposed to be fair?
they changed the cultural look of a lot of them. They are. And I think in that picture we showed last time here of Eowyn, you can even still see that.
But
she's still got the golden hair.
And her brother's dark-haired. Or is that her brother or cousin?
Brother.
Okay.
So it's interesting.
Yeah.
And they've gone the other way in some places too. Like I was looking at Pippin. They made Pippin blonde. Whereas blonde hair among the hobbits was supposed to be a very, very rare thing up until after Galadriel's gift, which also got cut from the films, had time to do its work. Anyways, the spell costs 2 less to cast. If it targets a tapped creature, exile the target creature. 5.
I still like the art in this. The art is amazing.
Wormtongue bared his teeth, and then with a hissing breath he spat before the king's feet.
Oh wait, is that?
No,
that's not.
See, that quote is from when they're banishing Grima.
Yeah, so maybe it's Grima that's being.
Or it could apply to either.
I don't, because no, that's probably Grima.
It might be Grima. I don't know. I'd have to check the art for each and see which it looks closer to. But that quote is definitely from when Grima was being booted.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Breaking the Fellowship. 2-cost sorcery. Target creature an opponent controls deals damage equal to its power to another target creature that player controls. The ring tempts you. It might have been mine. It should be mine. Give it to me. Poor Boromir breaking down a little. Next, for our uncommon, we have
Elrond.
Elrond, Lord of Rivendell. 3-cost for a 3/2.
And it's a foil.
Elf Noble. When Elrond, Lord of Rivendell, or another creature enter the battlefield under your control, scry 1. If this is the second time this ability has resolved this turn, the ring tempts you. This is the hour of the Shire folk, when they arise from their quiet fields to shake the towers and councils of the great. Who of all the wise could have foreseen it? And we have Eowith. Ioreth.
Oh, that's an I, not a...
Yeah, it's an I.
From the Healing House.
Of the Healing House, yeah. Another character that was cut from the films. So 1/4 for 3. Human Cleric. Tap to untap another target permanent, or tap to untap 2 other target legendary creatures. I have been too busy with this and that to heed all the cry and shouting. All I hope is that those murdering devils do not come to this house and trouble the sick. And that should be our last of these. We've got our basic land.
Another one. Look at that. So it looks like real water.
The surge foiling is very nice in that way, yes.
So pretty.
Sea of Balagir.
That's so pretty.
The Grey Havens. Up there. Bree and the Shire.
Do all the lands combine to make one picture?
No. Sadly, they do not.
That would have been awesome if they did.
It would have been awesome. But they do cover a fair chunk of the map. Ooh, we got a Barad-dûr non-foil in the scroll border. So here's our first rare. Legendary land.
Yeah, they do look neat. They're pretty... I like them a lot.
Barad-dûr enters the battlefield tapped unless you control a legendary creature. You can tap it for black, or you can pay double X and black and tap it to amass Orcs X. Activate only if a creature died this turn. Those who pass the gates of Barad-dûr do not return.
Right, you should go work for Magic and make decisions for them, says Dragon Fang.
So that's non-foil. Last time we got the Legolas in this slot. So sometimes this slot can be a commander card, sometimes it's not.
Ooh, Flame of Anor.
Flame of Arnor. Yeah, again, this time was a commander last time as well, except this one's a foil. Flame of Arnor. A blue, red,
Magic
and
needs
one, so
ghost
for
rare
3.
cards like Yu-Gi-Oh!
Choose one. If you control a wizard, as you cast this spell, you may choose 2 instead. So target player draws 2 cards, destroy target artifact. Flame of Honor deals 5 damage to target creature. So
the art is just amazing in the set. You can hardly make out what the guy looks like. He's upside down, kind of.
The Balrog here?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's his face and legs.
The art is absolutely amazing.
There was a ringing clash and a stab of white fire, and the Balrog fell back.
That art is amazing.
It does look like a fun card to use. I haven't actually tried it yet.
Fell Beasts of Mordor.
Fell Beast, yeah.
That art is just so cool. It's kind of creepy, but also very cool.
This is another one of those scenes. You can see the armies in the background, sieging Gondor, and this flying out in the foreground. 3/3 for 4 with flying. Devour 1. As this enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice any number of creatures. This enters the battlefield with that many +1/+1 counters on it. When the Fell Beast of Mordor enters the battlefield or attacks, target opponent loses X life, and you gain X life, where X is the number of +1/+1 counters on it. So how well fed was your Drake Beast here? And that will determine how powerful it is. Isildur's Fateful Strike. Yeah. Okay, so this is one of the scene cards, and it landed in the same spot. And again, we had a scene card at the end before, too. And this is we got 3 cards left. Am I miscounting here? Oh, no, because yeah. Okay, so it's the next card that we want to see an uncommon to have a chance for a poster. So Isildur's Fateful Strike is a legendary instant for 4. You can cast a legendary instant only if you control a legendary creature or planeswalker.
The art is amazing on these cards, though. I'm still in awe of them.
And yeah, the surge foiling is pretty neat. And that does show up on here better. Anyway, destroy target creature, its controller. If its controller had more than 4 cards in hand, they exile cards from their hand equal to the difference. Isildur cut the ring from Sauron's hand with the hilt shard of his father's sword, and Sauron himself was overthrown. And we do have an uncommon.
Ooh, Gandalf.
So the next one will be a rare, so either a poster or one of the rare Hildebrands.
That's nice. I like the art on that Gandalf.
Yeah, so we got a Surge foil, again, ring showcase of Gandalf, Friend of the Shire. So maybe it was just the uncommon ring showcases that they put in this slot. Anyway, 4 cost for a 2/4 flash, which means you can play it as an instant.
In case the next card's good.
You may cast sorcery spells as though they had flash whenever the ring tempts you. If you choose a creature other than Gandalf, Friend of the Shire, the ring bearer, as your ring bearer, draw a card. And we do have a poster.
Ooh.
Hugh the Entwood. Now, this is one of the weaker posters, and it is our non-foil.
Okay.
So,
I don't know if clicking this will stop it.
I don't know, but anyways, it is a neat card. One of the big criticisms of these poster cards, and this is my first ones from here, so I'm very glad to have it still. You can see the poor Ent there, and the orcs.
What's it called, sorry?
Marauding. Hugh the Entwood, non-foil version. You can tell it's not perfectly centered there. The little hologram section is a little bit too far to the right here. But not bad, and I do like the art. But it's definitely not one of the higher value ones.
Not $40.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
It's not bad, but it's not
But that's the last time they had it in stock.
It's not way up there either.
Let's see if TCG Player has it.
But yeah, one of the criticisms of these poster cards is that they can be hard to read. So it's not too bad. You can see the casting cost up here. You can see Hugh the Entwood, and that it's a sorcery. But
Okay, now it's Canadian. So
sacrifice any number.
market price US is $23.85 for that card.
Trying to find all the text.
No, it's not a foil. It's
no,
non-foil.
It's a non-foil, this one. Reveal the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of lands sacrificed this way. Choose any number of artifact and or land cards revealed this way. Put all non-land cards chosen this way onto the battlefield.
And honestly, it looks like the foil price is the same. At least last time they had them in stock.
Yeah, like I say, this is one of the lower end of the poster cards.
Yeah.
It is interesting, though.
Collector has it close to 24. Yeah, that's the US price.
Yeah.
The price I gave was like Canadian.
So there's our first poster card.
That's exciting. All right, let me open one.
Okay.
I'm probably not going to go as slow as you. So, I'm going to open one from the other side. In the middle.
I was going to try and do them in order.
Fine. Fine. All right, my turn.
Too big a gulp of cold tea. I should put a sleeve on that, though.
Yes, you should. Oof. Ooh.
Oh, we got a Smaug token.
That's cool.
Smaug, whatever.
That's a cool token. I like that look. Oh, sorry. It's food on the back.
What on earth?
What? Oh, it's because it's a perfect fits.
Well, it's not just that. It's also because there's some dirt on the table or something that also got on the card. So there's little bumps in here now.
Okay, so we got...
Which is not at all ideal.
No. We got Captain of Umbar, or is it Umbar?
Umbar. Human Pirate. 2/3 for 3. Pay 1 and tap, draw a card, then discard a card. There is a great fleet drawing near to the mouths of Anduin, manned by the corsairs of Umbar in the south. They have long ceased to fear the might of Gondor. From Baragorn. Baragorn is another character that they just cut entirely from the film.
So we got Stalwarts of Osgiliath.
Yep. 5 cost for 4/3. Human
there
soldier. When Stalwarts of Osgiliath enters the battlefield, the ring tempts you. When you draw your second card of each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on the Stalwarts. The enemy must pay dearly for the crossing of the river, said Denethor.
Ooh, stern scolding.
There we go. There's Gandalf scolding Pippin. And again, you can see a little bit of his more blonde hair and a little bit of Gandalf's darker complexion in this shot.
Mm-hmm.
1 blue, rather, for an instant. Counter target creature spell with a power or toughness of 2 or less. Fool of a Took.
Oh.
This is a serious journey, not a hobbit walking party. Throw yourself in next time, and then we will be no further. Then you'll be no further nuisance. Now be quiet.
Sorry, you like to read it, and I'm
getting mixed up with how they changed that line for the film.
All right, so Bilbo retired burglar.
Yep.
It's got the 2 different colors on it. It's because it's water and fire.
Yep.
Or water mountain, I guess.
It's a red, blue, multicolor legendary halfling rogue for 1/3 for 3. When Bilbo retired burglar enters or leaves the battlefield, the ring tempts you. Whenever Bilbo deals combat damage to a player, create a treasure token.
I don't know the half of you as well as I should like, and I like less than half of you as well as you deserve. I like that line.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got Willow Wind. So, okay.
Yeah, the old man Willow and such from the old forest, which was another section they cut out of the film. 3/4 flying for 5. When Willow
picture's not very good.
enters the battlefield, scry 2. The branches of the willow began to sway violently. Frodo called for help, but he could hardly hear his own voice. It was blown away from him by the willow wind and drowned in a clamor of leaves.
The art almost looks like you're looking through a wet window or something like that. It's not, I don't like it.
Yeah, it's a little bit... Not. It's meant to be sort of spirity. Oh, look, another Stalwarts of Osgiliath, but this time as a foil.
Yeah. There. Ooh, Frodo Baggins.
There we go.
Whenever Frodo Baggins or another legendary creature enters the battlefield under your control, the ring tempts you. As long as Frodo is your ring bearer, it must be blocked if able. And it says, few have ever come... Oh, sorry.
Come hither through greater peril or on an errand more urgent. And then Prince Imrahil the Fair, another character cut from the films, but definitely a stalwart of the Kingdom of Gondor and one of their strongest leaders and fighters during the Siege of Gondor and beyond. 2/2 for 2, white and blue. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, create a 1/1 white soldier token. The Lord Aragorn I hold to be my liege lord, whether he claim it or no. His wish is to me a command. I do like
Woohoo! Another one. We got the forest. The shiny. Look at that foiling.
The old forest.
Oh, my arm is sore.
Just to the east of Buckland.
That's pretty.
Or Brandy Hall, yeah. Anyway. So our first rare is Sail into the West. That's from the Elf Commander deck.
That's cool art, though.
It is. And this Will of the Council abilities, I don't like these sort of shared voting mechanics, but that's what it is. Anyway, starting with you, each player votes.
Thank you, Alec.
For return or embark. If return gets more votes, each player returns up to 2 cards from their graveyard to their hand. Then you exile Sail into the West. If embark gets more votes, or the vote is tied, then each player may discard their hand and draw 7 cards. And again,
ooh, Gandalf the White.
That's a mythic rare.
Nice.
And we got it in the foil treatment.
Yeah.
So that's...
Wasn't this one you needed?
It was one I needed for a while. I did pick up one of the plain version at a store about a year ago. But...
so it's got flash.
Yeah, it's a 4/5. 4/5. And it's got flash. You may cast legendary spells and artifact spells as though they had flash, which means at instant speed, even on your opponent's turn. If a legendary permanent or an artifact entering or leaving the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. So again,
that's
extra
a nice
value.
Card.
It is a nice card. I don't know if it's strong enough to get like serious play anywhere, but I'm going to put a sleeve on this one because it's a mythic and it's Gandalf and it's shiny and I like it.
Rohirrim Chargers. Creature Human Knight. You may exert Rohirrim Chargers as it attacks. Dragonfang Dan says he thinks it's $24. Probably the Gandalf one.
Are you sure that wasn't the...
Do you mean, is it Gandalf one you're looking at?
Or was that the Hugh the Entwood from last...
No, this is another one. It's a new card.
That's a recent comment.
Anyways, whenever you exert a creature, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal an equipment card. Put that card onto the battlefield attached to the creature, then put the rest on the bottom of the library in random order.
Okay, yeah,
the Gandalf, yeah.
That's another one of the scene cards.
Ooh, another mythic rare.
Radagast the Brown. So we got a second wizard here in this pack.
Ooh, nice.
And a Surge Foil Radagast.
And it's so new 2 mythics in this.
Yeah. Radagast is definitely not that expensive of a card.
I like Radagast.
But I do like the card, yes, and the character. Friend of all the animals. So it's 4 cost for 2/5. Whenever Radagast the Brown or another non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, so a creature you had to cast, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is that creature's mana value. You may reveal a creature card that doesn't share a creature type with a creature you control from among those and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So it lets you get more creatures if you've already got creatures.
Ooh,
goody. This is one of the Realms of Relics cards.
Ooh, and that's also a mythic.
Yes, this is one of the better ones. The one I got from our box was
foil.
the Fanghorn. It was sort of one of the mid-range ones. This is one of the higher-end ones.
And it's foil.
So we got a Surge Foil, Valley of Gorgoroth, which is a wasteland. Wasteland has been a tournament playable card ever since it was first printed back in Tempest. So that is nice.
Trying to figure out why the quality of the camera's not very good. If it's a light
That
one or
means
one
our last card will be an uncommon, I'm sure, but this is probably worth a few bucks.
Oh, but it's pretty.
Elvish Harbinger, yes. Can I read the text on this
Yes.
one first?
Sorry.
So yeah, you can sacrifice it to destroy a non-basic land as a land with no other costs. That's a strong ability.
So this is a nice pack then.
This is Surge Foil Wasteland. But I am going to Mordor, said Frodo. I know that well enough, said Sam. Of course you are, and I'm coming with you.
I love that line too. That's one of my favorite lines.
It is a nice line. It is a very thematic card, and it's a good playable card. So lots to like about this one.
But I love how Sean Astin delivers it in the movie.
I know Balin's Tomb from the Realm and Relics is worth more than this, but this is still one of the better ones.
And then, of course, the pretty one. I like this one, Elvish Harbinger. It's an elf druid, and when Elvish Harbinger, enters the battlefield, you may search your library for an elf card, reveal it, then shuffle and put that card on top. Add 1 mana of any color, and then the flavor text.
Shift that over.
The Mirror of Galadriel shows things that were, and things that are, and things that yet may be. I love that line too.
Yeah, they did pick some great quotes in this. And Elvish Harbinger is quite a playable card as well, especially in
Look
an
how
elf
pretty
deck.
it is, and it's a foil.
Yeah.
So,
I still use these in some of my elf decks, so they're good.
Oh my goodness.
And it's a foil.
That was a good pack.
And it's a Hildebrandt art, and
so the
it's
Gandalf
one I didn't
was
have,
like 24-ish.
so I'm very glad to have that as well.
What was the other one? It was this one, and there was another.
The Valley of Gorgoroth, Surge Foil.
And then the Radagast was in this.
Radagast is probably only a couple bucks at a guess.
But still, it's
you can check it if you like, absolutely. But that Valley of Gorgoroth, I would check for sure. So that was pack 3. We're a quarter through the box, and we've already got, a couple of hits.
Okay, hey, that one is... No, not that one. Not that art. This one would have been 676. Okay, what's the art? 6. This one. That can't be 80.
Surge Foil, it's the bottom one there.
Oh, $1.49?
Market price, yeah.
That's sad.
It is sad.
That is so sad. All right, the other one, the
Valley of Gorgoroth, Surge Foil.
Yeah, oh, no worries.
Sorry, it doesn't seem like every card is on. Yeah.
I'm not talking to you, Siri.
Yeah, we said sorry, not Siri, go away. Problem with having devices in your house is they spy on you. Here's a human soldier token.
The Surge Foil again. Where's the one that's...
And food token. Again.
Where's the one that says Surge Foil? Oh, yeah, there. It's 36.37.
36.37?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it'll be
not quite as high as I thought, but still.
It'll be more
decent.
Canadian.
Maybe it is more mid-range than in the upper end like I thought it was, but it's still a nice card and one I'm glad to have.
Yeah.
So, Dunland Carabine. Flying. When it enters the battlefield, amass orcs 2. What's that, Strider? It doesn't look like a cloud. Next, we have Treason of Isengard, 3 cost. Put up to 1 target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard on top of your library and amass orcs 2. No flavor text.
I like the
Oops, wrong
order.
pile.
But the
Stone of Eric. This was also cut from the films. This is where, when Aragorn, Gimli, and Legolas went through the paths of the dead through the mountain and came out the other side, the dead followed them to the Stone of Eric. And it was there that he called them to fulfill their oath.
Okay.
So it's a legendary artifact for 1. If a creature an opponent controls would die, exile it instead. So it keeps things from going to their graveyard. And pay 2 and sacrifice the Stone of Eric to exile target player's graveyard and draw a card. So It's protection against graveyard strategies. And worst case scenario, I suppose you could always just get rid of it to draw another card to replace it. Anyway. At the stone of Eric they shall stand again, and hear there a horn in the hills ringing. Malbreth the Seer. That's one of our uncommons. Oops. Bill the Pony.
I love Bill the Pony.
Legendary Horse. 1/4 for 4. When Bill the Pony enters the battlefield, create 2 food tokens. Sacrifice a food until end of turn. Target creature you control assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power.
Oh, can you believe we're almost halfway done this box? This is crazy.
Well, this is about the 1/3 mark. So, yeah, we're getting there. Here's our first foil. Common. Urukai Berserker. 3/2 for 3. When Urukai Berserker enters the battlefield, the ring tempts you. What of the Dawn? This was our first common we pulled, except the non-foil version in the first pack. We are the Urukai. We do not stop the fight for night or day, for fair weather or for storm. We come to kill by sun or moon. What of the Dawn? Ooh, Lorien Revealed. Now this is one of the more valuable commons in the set. Last I checked, it was something like a $5 card. It's probably gone up or down since then. Probably down, but then again, this is the fancy scroll border and foil version. So if any version has kept some value, it's going to be this one. Lorien Revealed. 5 cost, draw 3 cards, and you can island cycle it for 1.
It's $7.36 US.
Nice.
I think if that's right. Yeah, that's that one.
So there you go. As far as a common goes, not bad.
Nope.
Look on us now with friendly eyes. Behold the trees of Naeth Lorien and be glad.
TCG Player doesn't have all of them, but they got some decent, they got, decent amount.
And we've got Grond, the Gatebreaker. 5/5 trample for 4, as long as it's your turn and you control an army. Grond the Gatebreaker is an artifact creature. So, if you have an army, it can attack and do its thing. Otherwise, you have to crew it with 3 creatures.
How many
with 3 power of creatures.
How many of these can you get in a box?
The most posters I've seen in a box, I think, was 5.
Okay.
I've watched a bunch of openings. 4 or 5 are fairly uncommon, though. Typically, it's 2 or 3 you get in a box.
Ooh. Okay.
3 is probably the most common number, but...
Ooh, that looks cool.
Erkenbrand of Westfold.
Lord of Westfold.
Lord of Westfold, sorry. So there's our other uncommon foil. Human Soldier, 3/3 for 4. Whenever Erkenbrand of Westfold or another human enters the battlefield under your control, create creatures you control get +1/+1 attack, basically, until end of turn. Down from the hills leapt Erkenbrand, Lord of Westfold, and the host of Isengard roared in fear. This is another character that was cut from the movie. And here we have another forest.
Ooh, I love it.
It's the other picture from the one we had just opened. So this one's got Mirkwood in it. And the Misty Mountains.
I think of the Misty
Mountains. There's
Mountains
Lorien down there as well.
When I see Misty Mountains, I
and
think of the
Fangorn Forest right in the corner.
So pretty. These are really nice.
They are. It's our first rare. Haldir. This is from, again, the Commander decks.
Lorien Lieutenant.
Lorien Lieutenant. Just out of curiosity, well, I don't know.
You want me to look at the lands?
Well, yeah, those foil map lands, any of them really, but I know that certain land types, like islands, tend to be more popular than forests and stuff, but whatever, it probably doesn't matter much. Just curious. Haldir, they're probably a couple bucks each. Haldir, Lorien Lieutenant, 1 green and X. When it enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. Vigilance.
218 US.
Okay.
For the island.
Okay. For the surge foil ones, yeah.
Yeah.
Vigilance, pay 6 until end of turn. Other elves you control gain vigilance and get +1/+1 for each counter on Haldir. So depending how much mana you've got to put into them, you can give some neat buffs. And green's good at making lots of mana, so now you must be brought before the Lord and the Lady.
Okay, so for the forest, there's different prices. 214 for the Mirkwood one, and 160 for the old forest.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Mary, Warden of Isengard. So, legendary version of Mary, again from the Commander set. Green and white. Partner with Pippin, Warden of Isengard. Shoot.
This one's 202.
Just spoiled that.
The swamp is 202.
Okay. Yeah, they're ballpark what I figured. Whenever one or more artifacts enter the battlefield under your control, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token with lifelink. This ability triggers only once each turn. So there's Mary.
Oops. Ooh.
Minas Morgul, Dark Fortress. This is again from the Commander set. Non-foil version, but borderless, so that's something. I think this card was worth a couple bucks.
Let me check.
Sure. Borderless Minas Morgul, the Dark Fortress, non-foil. When it enters the battlefield tapped. Oh no, I'm thinking of a different card because the other one was a gate. This one isn't a gate. This is just Minas Morgul.
I'll still check it.
And so this one is tap for a black or pay 4 and tap it. Put a shadow counter on target creature. As long as that creature has a shadow counter on it, it is a wraith in addition to its other types. Okay, that's very different. That's not at all what I thought it was.
So if it was a surge foil, it would be 26, but since it's not, it's 1025.
1025. Okay.
So not bad.
Next, we have Press the Enemy. Surge foil.
Ooh, that looks cool. Oh, that is really cool art.
That's Aragorn challenging Sauron in the Palantir.
Oh, that is cool.
So that's 4 cost, instant, return target spell or non-land permanent an opponent controls to its owner's hand. You may cast an instant or sorcery spell with equal or less mana value from your hand without paying its mana cost. I showed the blade reforged to him. He is not so mighty yet that he is above fear. And then
it's 30 cents.
Which?
That one.
Yeah, I knew that wasn't worth much. Sorry, did you say what Minas Morgul was?
Yeah, it was like $10.
Oh, okay.
Around there.
Here's Samwise the Stout-Hearted Search Foil, which we checked before the stream started, but it's an uncommon, so that means at the back we've got either a rare Hildebrand or a poster. And it's Second Harvest, which is the one that I already had. Remember when I showed in the binder?
But
so
it was cool.
I got this and this again. It is cool. Unfortunately, it's one I already had, and I was hoping to get more of the Hildebrands I didn't have. But it's not a horrible card. 4 cost. For each token you control, create a token that's a copy of that permanent. So it doubles whatever tokens you have in play. That can be a decent ability. Each year, at summer's end, I gather water lilies, green leaves and lilies white, to please my pretty lady. The last ere the year's end, to keep them from the winter, to flower by her pretty feet until the snows have melted. Yeah.
That's so sad. I feel like it should be better.
So that's another Hildebrand.
That one's nice.
So that's our third Hildebrand. And it's our first that isn't an uncommon, but it's one I already had. So little mix there.
All right, pack number 5.
Number 5.
Oh my goodness. Let's find something awesome. We need something awesome.
You want to check the price on Second Harvest? I think it's probably in the sort of $5 range, but I could be wrong. We got a treasure token.
You are wrong.
I am wrong, am I?
1347.
Okay.
So not a bad one.
Not bad.
And that's
And a
US.
food token.
So
We got Mushroom Watchdogs. 2/2 for 2. Dog. Sacrifice a food. Put a +1/+1 counter on Mushroom Watchdog. It gains vigilance until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. They won't harm you, not unless I tell them to. Here, grip, fang, heal. Farmer Maggot. Farmer Maggot was sort of in the movies, but you never really see him much. Or no, well, okay, you might see him in the pub later on as sort of a...
What did you see? His hat and his, like, whatever that thing is called? What are those things called?
The Scythe.
Scythe,
Yeah.
Hobbit Sting.
Hobbit Sting. 2. Instant. Hobbit Sting deals X damage to target creature, where X is the number of creatures you control, plus the number of foods you control. Could be situationally useful, but it takes some building up. 1 for the Shire, cried Aragorn. The Hobbit's bite is deep. You have a good blade, Frodo, son of Drogo.
Oof.
Next we have Denethor, the ruling steward. 2/4 for 3. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died under your control this turn, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. And you can pay 2 and sacrifice another creature. Each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Much must be risked in war. So he generates creatures and sacrifices creatures.
Ooh.
Next, ooh, that is an ooh for sure.
I saw it before you did.
We got a Nazgul. I think I have this art, but this is my first Nazgul in the scroll frame, and those are worth a few bucks. So I'm going to get a sleeve for this, because even though it's not, it's a non-foil.
Which one is it?
It's a non-foil.
Which one is it?
728.
728.
So the Nazguls are valuable for a number of reasons. It's only an uncommon. There are 9 different arts, and they all have different numbers on them for collecting purposes as well. So technically there's 9 different versions of this uncommon. And
it's $40, $40.24 US.
Yep, for an uncommon. It's unreal. Anyways, 1/2 Death Touch. I don't actually I forget if this is my 8th or my 9th Nazgul. I don't think I didn't have a play set of them yet. So
that's exciting.
It's got Death Touch. When an Nazgul enters the battlefield, the ring tempts you, and whenever the ring tempts you, put a +1/+1 counter on each wraith you control, which of course it is 1, and a deck can have up to 9 cards named Nazgul. So for collectors, they want these cards because there's 9 different pictures to collect. If you want to play with it, you probably want 9 for your deck, whereas most cards you can only play up to 4. So yes, this is a highly sought after card, even though it's an uncommon. Yes, it's worth putting a sleeve on. Next, we got foils. We got many partings.
I think, we have a good chance of getting our money back in this.
We might.
Not necessarily what they sell for now, but...
Nope. But yeah, as far as... I'm going to stand that up behind the uncommons, because, yes, that's a highlight. Anyway, many partings. Search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Then shuffle and create a food token for 1 green.
Made a clip or something of that.
Not bad. For you in all the lands of the West, there will ever be a welcome, dearest friend. Then we have Great Hall of the Citadel.
That one land that you pulled would be good with a deck around Nazgul.
That one
land. You mean the
Minas Morgul Dark Fortress?
Oh, that's
that would fit the theme fairly well.
Yeah,
deals with wraiths for sure. Tap for a colorless or pay 1 and tap it and add 2 mana in any combination of colors. Spend this mana only to cast legendary spells. So if you're playing a lot of legendary stuff, this would be a great mana fixer.
Well, this one was the other $40 one, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah. The poster. Renewed shall be blade that was broken, the crownless again shall be king, Bilbo.
It's nice when you get like an uncommon card that's got a good value to it. Ooh,
True. We got a barrel blade.
that's nice. I like the foil of that. That's pretty.
It is nice. 1 cost artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+1. Whenever equipped creature blocks or becomes blocked by a creature, that creature loses all abilities until end of turn. So that's a handy ability in some cases. It's our foil
It's like
uncommon.
a 20-cent card. I was just looking at it out of curiosity.
Now we've had Gandalf and Radagast. Here's Saruman, but it's the uncommon version.
Do you have this one? I mean, not this version, but do you have that card at all?
Yeah, I think so. I think I have all the commons and uncommons in the set now, except for like the different Nazgul pictures, a couple of them. I could be wrong on that, but I think it's pretty close. Anyway, Saruman the White, 4/4 for 5, Ward 2. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, amass orcs 2. Yes, it's foil. It's an uncommon. I don't think this one is worth a whole lot.
It doesn't seem to be.
And there's a plains. We got the White Mountains, Fangorn Forest, Rohan, the East Emlet.
That's so pretty.
It is nice. There's the Gap of Rohan. Gondor down below the White Mountains. Our first rare, there and back again. So this is a saga, and this is as close as you can get to Hobbit cards from the book The Hobbit. They tried to sum up the whole story in one saga here. 5 cost. As this saga enters, and after you draw your draw step, add a lore counter. Sacrifice after 3. Up to 1 target creature can't block for as long as you control there and back again. The ring tempts you.
That's 11.92.
Okay. 2, search your library for a mountain card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. And then 3, create Smog. That's that dragon token you got in the earlier pack. A 6/6 red dragon creature token with flying haste. When this creature dies, create 14 treasure tokens. That's a lot of treasure tokens.
Oh my goodness.
Where's that dragon token? So there's the dragon Smaug that it can make. So we got.
I like that. I like dragons.
Foil of this. This is non-foil version.
Yeah,
this one.
It's still 11.92.
Yeah.
So that's not bad.
No. Anyhow, this was our first rare of the pack. Next we have
Mirkwood Trapper.
Mirkwood Trapper. This is again from the Commander deck, the Elf Commander deck, by the look of it.
Is it foil? Yeah.
Yeah, Elf Scout. 1/4. Most of the Commander deck cards aren't worth much. There's a couple, but not many.
Still look.
Whenever a player attacks,
27 cents.
Target attacking creature gets -2 attack until end of turn. Whenever a player attacks, if they aren't attacking you, that player chooses an attacking creature. It gets +2 attack until end of turn. Under the boughs of Mirkwood, there was deadly strife of elves and evil beings.
We'll have to do a recap video tomorrow or something.
We got Galadriel's Dismissal.
Ooh.
1 white. Kicker for 3. Target creature phases out. If this spell was kicked, each creature that player controls phases out instead. So, yeah, great way to phase out their whole side, which could be used offensively or defensively, really. It's probably a playable card.
Ooh, okay, which one is it? It's not the search.
Galadriel's Dismissal, non-foil.
$14.90.
But full borderless, whatever.
$14.90.
Yeah, not bad.
Ooh.
We got Battle of Bywater, Surge Foil. This is only a couple bucks, I think. And this is a rare in our second last slot. No, it's not. It's the third last, so... Okay. Destroy all creatures with power 3 or greater. Then create a food token for each creature you control. So you want to play this in a weenie deck. A deck with a lot of small creatures, rather. 13. And there you see Merry and Pippin. Merry, they gave a little bit darker complexion to, and Pippin, they gave the brighter complexion and blonde hair, which doesn't show up as well in this particular shot, but it's... Yeah, they did that. Anyway... The Tooks marched in with Pippin at their head. Merry now had enough sturdy hobbitry to deal with the ruffians.
Dragon Fang says, have a good evening all. I need to head out now. I'll check what hits you get tomorrow. Sounds good.
Thank you.
Boromir, Warden of the Tower?
Yes. Now, this is a card which I didn't have in the ring foil. So this one will go to fill a hole in my set for sure. Even though it's technically a different card because of the Surge foiling. But this is a version of Boromir I did not have. So that's nice. 3/3 for 3, Vigilance. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it, counter it. So that stops some tricks.
1069.
And you can sacrifice Boromir. Creatures you control are indestructible until end of turn, and the ring tempts you. So that's definitely a playable card. The last card's going to be an uncommon, though, which means it's, again, one of the Hildebrands.
Oh, that one again.
Again, but this time non-foil.
It's pretty. I like it.
It is pretty.
Anyways, this is 1069.
So
that one's got some decent value.
There we go.
Not like that
1069. All right.
Sam one.
And the last pack of the first half, pack 6. So we've had a couple of 10, 13 type dollar cards.
Yeah.
2 $40 cards, or three $40 cards, isn't it? Because Valley of Gorgoroth, Hugh the Entwood, and the Nazgul.
Yeah.
We're all in the sort of $40 range.
Yeah, I think that one might have been 30. So I can check it again.
Anyway, not horrible. Not a complete loss, as one might say.
It was on the last page.
And here is the halfway mark, this pack. So another Orc Army token.
Oh, no, it was $40. Okay.
Food token.
It was $40. 40.24. Yeah, so, I mean...
Elven Farsight. 1 green. Scry 3, then you may reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, draw a card. Few can foresee whither their road will lead them till they come to its end.
I like that.
Legolas.
It's pretty.
It is pretty.
Ooh.
Torment of Gollum. Target creature or target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it. That player discards that card and amass orcs 2. In Mordor, all that he knew was forced from him.
Would we ever sell that other box we have? No.
Not anytime soon. Who knows? One day, maybe, but I have no plans to in the immediate future. No. Gothmog, Morgul Lieutenant. 3/3 for 4. When Gothmog enters the battlefield, amass orcs 1. Creature tokens you control have death touch. Notice Gothmog here is a human, not an orc.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
Frodo Baggins.
Yep, Frodo Baggins. We've already had this one in the foil.
Oh, so this is... Okay.
So
it's a non-foil.
Yeah.
Not a bad one to have another of, though.
No, not at all.
Lothorian Lookout.
Yep, this is our first foil common. 1/3 for 2. When it attacks, scry 1. That was the custom of the elves of Lorien, to dwell in the trees. Therefore, they were called Galadriel, the tree people. Then we've got Rush the Room. I think we've had this one before. Gives your creature a bonus, especially if it's an orc or a goblin. Next we have Bitter Downfall. Again, we've seen this before. Boromir.
That one.
Bilbo, Retired Hobbit. We have seen
think
this.
The last one was a... No. I don't think it was a hollow, though.
Yeah, so this is our first foil of this.
Ooh.
We got a mountain.
Yay.
There's Lorien and the Misty Mountains. Fangorn Forest.
Is that our first mountain?
I think from this box, yes. I think.
Ooh, Shelob.
Shelob Dreadweaver. This is a different Shelob from what I showed in my first 2 packs. Yeah. This is also from the Commander set. 4 cost for a 3/3.
Is it a foil, though?
Non-foil.
Oh, non-foil.
Whenever a non-token creature an opponent controls dies, exile it. Pay 3. Put a creature card exiled with Shelob Dread Warrior into its owner's graveyard. and put 2+1/+1 counters on Shelob and draw a card.
It is a $3.50 card though,
Okay.
so not horrible.
And pay X and 2. Put target creature card with mana value X, exiled with Shelob onto the battlefield, tapped under your control. Next we have
Sauron's Ransom.
Sauron's Ransom. This is not worth much, I don't think. This was one of the cards that I actually... The last time we opened set boosters, I got one of these, and I hadn't had it before. So this is a card I recently filled out in my set, I think.
It's a fault hole.
He was dear to you, I see, and now he shall endure the slow torment of years.
It is $1.82.
That's right, yeah, Sauron's Ransom.
So,
Sorry, yeah.
well, you know,
Anyway,
couple bucks.
to choose target opponent, they look at the top 4 cards of your library and separate them into a face-down pile and a face-up pile. Put one of those piles into your hand and the other into your graveyard. Ring tempts you. Way to get some cards. Minas Tirith Garrison.
That is a nice looking art.
This is one of the cards that I think, except this one's borderless, was one of the ones from the Jump Starts, I think, initially. So it's a star 5 for 4. Minas Tirith Garrison is power is equal to the number of cards in your hand. When Minas Tirith Garrison attacks, you may untap any number of untapped humans you control. Draw a card for each human tapped this way. Or no, you may tap any number of untapped humans. Okay. Makes a little more sense.
Ooh.
Elven Chorus. Surge Foil. This was a playable card. I don't know if it's worth anything, but it was a playable card for a time, I think. 4-cost enchantment. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may cast creature spells from the top of your library. Creatures you control have tap to add 1 mana of any color.
$4.49.
Elbereth Gilthoniel, Silithren Penna Miriel, O Menel Aglar Elenath.
Ooh.
Frodo Baggins. So this is an uncommon. So the last card again here will be either a poster or a rare Hildebrand. Frodo Baggins ring treatment.
Oh, come on, not Frodo bagging.
Whenever Frodo Baggins or another legendary creature enters the battlefield under your control, the ring tempts you. As long as Frodo is your ring bearer, it must block if able. Now, is there something you do?
Cents.
Is there something you do to make clips just in case this is something good behind it?
Yeah, just a second. There we go.
All right, and let's see what we got behind Frodo here. It is a ring. It is a poster, I should say. It is a non-foil. So this is our second non-foil. Spiteful Banditry. When this first came out, this was a pretty popular card just for playing with.
What's it say?
Because it has a neat effect. Spiteful Banditry. I think it's fallen off. I don't think it's one of the more valuable ones at all anymore. But I don't think it's one of the worst necessarily. I could be wrong.
If it was...
It's not serialized.
It's not serialized. No. If it was,
it's
it would
not
be...
foil either. It's just the base one.
It's $20.
Yeah.
Okay. So
anyway, it's 2 red and X. You can see the top corner there. Enchantment. When the Spiteful Banditry enters the battlefield, it deals X damage to each creature. Whenever one or more creatures your opponent controls die, create a treasure token. This ability triggers only once each turn.
I don't know if I did the highlight
it
properly.
Stays in play as an enchantment with that after it's done its wrecking work. So it is neat. It's a neat addition, and it definitely, like I said, another one I didn't have. So
yeah,
nice to get. Although not one of the top hits you'd want for a poster card, to be honest.
No. Hopefully we get another, well, more.
We haven't pulled a foil poster yet, so I'm still hoping there'll be one of those.
That would have been $1,000 if it was, well, no, serialized.
Serialized. All right, so that's half the box. Do you want to take another pack?
I guess I
Or
can do another pack.
I'm going to get a quick drink myself.
All right. All right, guys, I'm taking over. I'm going to pull a big card. We're going to pull the One Ring poster card. How about that? Oh, my goodness. My goodness. This is so hard to open. Oof. Well, that's kind of cool. The token. Ballistic boulder. That's kind of cool. Oop, I dropped it again. And it's got the She Loves Food again.
Yep. I can just go with the tokens.
Let's just shift over here.
Rohirrim Lancer.
All right. Menace. The ring tempts you when it dies. Dire deeds awake. Dark is it eastward. Let horse be bridled. Horn be sounded. Theoden. I don't remember that line.
They adapted it. It's a little
Oh, we
different
got that
than
one again. But I think the other one was a foil, wasn't it?
Yeah, Banish Meteorus. Yeah, it might have. Yeah, I think the other one was a foil.
Ooh, I like that
Horses of Bruinen.
That's cool.
In the film, they made it look like Arwen did this, which is a little bit unfortunate. But it was actually a combined effort of the pre-planned defense plans of Elrond with a little extra oomph from Gandalf.
Okay, so it says return up to 2 target creatures to their owner's hands. Scry one,
and
the ring tempts you.
The black horses were filled with madness, and leaping forward in terror, they bore their riders into the rushing flood.
Rosie Cotton. When Rosie Cotton of South Lane enters the battlefield, create a food token. Whenever you create a token, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control other than Rosie.
That's nice. Wozy Pathfinder. The Wozies were again cut from the movie.
Okay, so
they helped the Rohirrim get past the Orcish blockade on the road and make it to the Siege of Gondor.
I can't get this to focus. Add 1 mana of any color. Another target creature gets +3/+3. Gains trample till end of turn. Road is forgotten, but not by wild folk. Over the hill and behind the hill it lies. Still under grass and tree. Wild folk will show you the road. Oops. Oh my goodness.
Lambas.
Okay. I don't know if it's just the angle I'm sitting at. It's just awkward. Artifact food. When Lambas enters the battlefield, scry 1, then draw a card. Sacrifice Lambas, you gain 3 life. When Lambas is put into graveyard from the battlefield, its owner shuffles into their library. They could eat of it and find new strength, even as they ran.
Yep. Peregrine Took.
I don't love the art of Merry and Pippin. I just don't.
I think this one could be used in a combo in some decks. If 1 or more tokens would be created under your control, those tokens plus an additional food token are created instead. And then you can sacrifice 3 foods to draw a card.
Sam, get breakfast ready for 9:30.
There's Grima.
Grima, warm time. Your opponents can't gain life. Sacrifice another creature. Target player loses 1 life. If the sacrificed creature was legendary, amass orcs 2. Do not weary yourself or tax too heavily your strength. Let others deal with these irksome guests. Ooh, another mountain.
Same one. Same art. Grima, Saruman's Footman. So another version of Grima.
Okay.
This one is from the Commander deck as well.
We don't have to read that, do we?
It can't be blocked. It's 1/4 for 4. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, that player exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile an instant or sorcery card. You may cast that card without playing its mana cost. Then
I
that
just want to see
player
what else
puts
is.
the exiled cards this way on bottom of the library. Right.
Motivated pony.
Again, from a commander deck.
Trample haste. Whenever motivated pony attacks, attacking creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. If a food entered the battlefield under your control, this turn untap those creatures and they get an additional +2/+2 until end of turn.
Neat. I don't remember if I've seen that one before or not.
Oops.
Rally the Galadrim.
Yeah. Create a token with a copy of target creature you control. Conspire. As you cast a spell, you may tap 2 untapped creatures you control that share the color with it. When you do, copy it, and you may choose a new target for the copy. Ooh.
All right.
Doors of Durin.
In the Surge foil, I believe. Yep. I had a foil one of these. This is one of the first foil rares I ever pulled. It's not worth much.
It looks cool, though.
But it's cool. Legendary artifact for 5, including green and red. Whenever you attack, scry 2, then you may reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, put it onto the battlefield tapped attacking. Until your next turn, it gains trample if you control a dwarf, and hexproof if you control an elf. Peregrine Toque. So the next card could be a rare again. Or it could be either a poster or is a rare Hildebrand. One of the two.
If one or more tokens would be created under your control, those tokens plus an additional food token are created instead. Sacrifice 3 foods, draw a card.
And you want to, which one is it?
What? Oh, yeah, I guess this one. What's coming up?
And behind it we have a poster, Mount Doom.
Ooh, isn't this a good one?
I think it's a good one. It's not one of the best ones. It's nowhere near as good as the One Ring, but Mount Doom I think is solid. Mount Doom and Sauron, like the sort of, dark themed ones, I think are fairly
Ooh,
decent.
that's nice. Here, I'll give this one to you. And sorry.
I got ahead of myself. I put the sleeve on the wrong card. Put it on Peregrine.
That's kind of fun.
That is kind of fun. So Mount Doom, it's a legendary land. This is again a non-foil. So this is our 3rd poster, and we haven't hit a foil poster yet. So that's interesting.
I put in Mount Doom, and it pulls up Pound Doom.
Yeah, a little bit different. But you can pay 1 life and get either red or black from it, or you can pay 3 and tap it. Mount Doom deals 1 damage to each opponent, or 7 and tap it, sacrifice it.
Up on TCG.
Legendary sacrifice Mount Doom and a legendary artifact. Choose up to 2 creatures and then destroy the rest.
That is a $65 card, basically.
Okay.
It's not serialized.
No. Only the foil ones are serialized at all. So this
not bad.
Non-foil poster, Mountain Doom.
Not bad at all.
No, not too shabby. I'm surprised. 3 posters so far and not a single one foiled.
Do you think
that was pack 7? Pack 7.
Do you think there'll be more? Let's hope so.
I'm hoping there'll be at least a foil one, so we could end up with a 4 poster box, which would be nice.
That's cool. That's a nice one. So the serial numbered one, it does not have a price for it.
Well, yeah, I mean, there only 100 exist, and how many of them have even been opened, let alone anyone decided to sell them.
We probably
let alone shared, their pricing data. So
yeah, that is a nice one.
It is a nice one. That's our best hit so far, I guess, by cash value. Come on. There are several cards in the set that can beat it easily.
And there's probably, the value, I'm pretty sure we've gotten it for what we paid for it. Or will have by the end. Because there's a lot of, $12 cards or $5 cards. So, but that is nice. I had to put it on I had to separate the word, that's why. When I was looking for it.
3. Is that an old comment by Ryan?
I'm not sure what the 3 means.
Oh, I guess maybe that's counting the posters.
Oh, yeah. Maybe.
So there's another orc army / food.
I like these tokens.
They're nice as far as tokens go. We got a Dunedain blade. Equipped creature gets +2/+1.
That's
you can
cool.
equip humans for 1 or other creatures for 3. The sword glinted in the westering sun.
I'm glad I got to open a pack that had a poster card.
Yeah, that was nice. Mirkwood Bats is a playable little common. Flying, whenever you create or sacrifice a token, each opponent loses a life. I think this was big for draft too, just being a flying creature with that sort of ability. The enemy has many spies, many ways of hearing. I don't think it's good in tournaments at all, but it is neat in certain decks. Oh, we got Theoden, King of Rohan, the uncommon version. Herloon's stats, a 2/3 for 3, but white-red. Whenever Theoden, King of Rohan, or another human enters the battlefield under your control, that creature gains double strike until end of, or target creature gains double strike until end of turn. So they inspire each other. And there's King Theoden and his dreads, I guess. Dark have been my dreams of late, but I feel new awakened. I only fear that already you have come too late, Gandalf.
He has a lot of different pricing ranges on that.
Arwen and Dumiel, I remember you liked this card.
I do. It's pretty.
A green and a blue for a 2/2. Whenever you scry, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, and you can pay 6 to scry too. She was called Undomiel, for she was the even star of her people. Next, we have a Rohirrim Lancer. We had one of these before, I believe, but this one's foil. Dire Deeds awake. Dark is it eastward. Let horse be bridled, horn be sounded. 1/1 for 1 with menace. And when it dies, the ring tempts you. I don't get the connection to the ring necessarily on that card, but probably just to round out the set's functions. Revive the Shire. Return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand to create a food token. Sort of a regrowth effect, but restricted to permanents, and gets you a food token, so not horrible. In the party field, a beautiful young sapling leaped up. It was indeed a Marlorn, and it was the wonder of the neighborhood. Now, the party tree, that's one of those Realms and Relics cards that's worth quite a bit.
Okay.
Along with Balin's Tomb, it might be one of the better ones.
Okay. I didn't check the prices of the cards I pulled.
Horses foil. And Melindor, the Swift Savior.
Oh no.
So,
It's lagging. I don't know why it's lagging.
That's unfortunate. It's a
yeah.
3/3 flying for 4, and when it deals combat damage to a player, exile up to 1 target creature you own, then return it to the battlefield under your control. Then come, we have need of speed greater than any wind, outmatching the wings of the Nazgul. Again, the brother that went to help save Frodo and Sam.
The planes?
Yeah, planes again. Surge foil. Seen this before, I think. Our first rare is Forge Anew. Enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, return target equipment card from your graveyard to the battlefield. As long as it's your turn, you may activate equipment abilities anytime you cast an instant, and you may pay 0 rather than the equip cost of the first equip ability you activate during each of your turns.
Ooh, that's a $7.79 card. So $7.79.
Okay.
Not bad.
And that's non-foil.
Yep.
Okay, here's the Horn of Gondor again. This time, just plain foil version with the scroll border. Isengard Unleashed.
Ooh, that looks cool.
It's got flashback. Damage can't be prevented this turn. If a source you control would deal damage this turn to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, triple that damage instead. Very expensive, but tripling effect is potentially strong. Ooh, here's a mythic rare.
Oh, is that a surge foil? No, non-foil.
Here's a surge foil. Surge foil, borderless.
That is pretty.
Arwen, Mortal Queen.
Ooh, that is a nice one.
I don't think it's one of the better mythics, but it is a mythic.
It looks nice.
It does look nice.
I'll look it up.
3 cost 2/2. Arwen Mortal Queen enters the battlefield with an indestructibility counter on it, and you can remove that counter and by paying 1. Another creature gains indestructible until end of turn. Put a +1/+1 counter and lifelink counter on that creature, and a +1/+1 counter and a lifelink counter on Arwen.
It's $4.80.
Yeah, not.
I think
Not huge, but it is a nice little mythic rare surge. Next, we have Ramos Ekor Ancient Shield.
That looks cool.
It does look cool, but it's a rare, and it's in the second last slot. So our last one's going to be an uncommon again.
Has it ever been where you've had like a poster in the slot? After like a rare card?
No. Never seen it happen. Whenever you cast your second spell, each turn, draw a card, then create a 0/3 white wall token. At the beginning of your combat phase, creatures you control with Defender gain Exalted until end of turn. Interesting. Not great, as I recall. And then we have Myriad Landscape, which is the one I had from my 2 previous packs.
That one.
So we're still missing Soul Warden.
You know what, though? This is
for the uncommons.
That's a $6.48 card.
Okay.
So not bad.
Not bad. All right. Pack 9.
That was the one that I wanted to open.
You want to open pack 9?
Yeah, let me open that one.
Okay.
Because that was one I initially was going to pick, but you said you want to go in order. So, all right. Shove a bum. Shove a bum. This one's mine. And then you can do the rest. All right, let's go. Let's get something awesome.
I guess I could put a sleeve on Arwen. We're not that short on sleeves.
Come on.
But there were cards that are definitely worth more that we've opened.
Trying to put kiddos to sleep. What did I miss? Ooh, show them. I'm just gonna open this off camera.
So far our highlights, we're just opening. I guess that's pack 9. We're just opening now, but we had a Nazgul.
It went out for a second.
We've had Valley of Gorgoroth from the Realms and Relics in Surge Foil.
We just got our most expensive card.
Our best hit so far was our most recent poster card, just in the previous pack to the one we had just finished opening. Mount Doom non-foil poster. We've had 3 poster cards total: Spiteful Banditry, Hugh the Entwood, and the Mount Doom. None of these are foil. So usually you get a foil and a non-foil in a box.
So maybe we
and sometimes some extra. So there could be still a foil poster coming somewhere here.
Yeah. All right.
I hope anyway.
This is a pack that I wanted to open. And Papa Spokat told me I couldn't. I had to go in order. So we got a token, a human soldier token. What's the third? Like, these tokens are amazing. I just love them.
They're nice as far as generic tokens go.
All right.
The Smog one is my favorite so far.
Okay, so we got
Haligir Survivor.
Oh, she's doing a baby.
Add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast an instant or sorcery spell, and pay 6. Tap a target player. Mills 3 cards. Yeah, the whole.
Oh, there'll definitely be foils.
The coastal cities getting raided before Minas Tirith was. That whole thing is brushed over very quickly in the film.
Galadrim Bow?
The corsairs are upon us. Back to the walls. Back to the city before all are overwhelmed.
When
Why am I
Galadrim Bow
seeing it?
enters the battlefield, attach it to target creature you control. Untap that creature. Equipped creature gets +1/+2 and has reach.
Yep.
Ooh.
Voracious Fellbeast.
Did you say this was one? Did you say this one was one that had value or no?
I don't think so.
Okay. Flying, when Voracious Fellbeast enters the battlefield, each opponent sacrifices a creature. Create a food token for each creature sacrificed that way. Glorfindel.
Glorfindel, also cut from the movie. A very powerful elf. Slayer of a Balrog in a previous age of the world.
Whenever you scry, choose one Glorfindel Dauntless. I don't know why this is doing that. The focus is horrible. What the heck are you doing? Doesn't know what to focus on. Anyways, Glorfindel must be blocked this turn if able. Glorfindel can't be blocked by more than one creature each combat this turn. On the Elf Lord's brow sat wisdom, and in his hand was strength. There's a foil. Morgul Knife Wound. Enchant creature. Enchant creature gets -3/-0 and has at the beginning of your upkeep, exile this creature unless you pay 2 life. Frodo felt a pain like a dart of poisoned ice pierce his left shoulder.
Yeah, that's when Frodo was stabbed at Weathertop.
There's another foil.
Improvised club.
It's an additional cost. Cast a spell, sacrifice an artifact or creature. Improvised club deals 4 damage to any target. For a couple of pins, says Troll and grins, I'll eat thee too and gnaw thy shins. I like that. Ooh, we got Ent Draft. Basin. I put a +1/+1 counter on target creature with power X. Activate only a sorcery. The effect of the draft began at the toes and rose steadily through every limb, bringing refreshment and vigor as it coursed upward right to the rips of the hair, or tips of the hair.
And Denethor.
We already had this one, didn't we?
The Serving Steward, not as a foil.
Ooh, basic land swamp. I like these lands.
A shiny swamp with the rippling.
Hey, there we go. There's another one of these
Scroll
ones.
Of Isildur.
So
Saga. It's I don't think it's worth much, but
the other one was decent though. I'll have to take a look. Sail into the West. We also had this one. Was it a foil though?
Don't think so.
Hello, Johnny Reynolds. Welcome in. Ooh.
Sorcerer's Squall. We're not like the chase one of these poster set is the Legolas's reflexes, and we haven't hit that.
So delve.
We also haven't hit many of the main characters either.
No. Each card you exile. It's been a good day. Each card you exile from your graveyard while casting this spell pays for 1. Target opponent mills 9 cards. Then you may cast an instant or sorcery spell from that player's graveyard without paying mana cost. If that spell would be put into a graveyard, exile it instead.
Nice. Lotho, Corrupt Sheriff.
Whenever a player casts their second spell each turn, and it is a search foil, lose 1 life and create a treasure token.
This was like a $5 card.
That's exciting.
Because this is a card you can use in certain decks.
Whatever is wrong in the Shire, Lotho will be at the bottom of it. You can be sure of that, Pippin.
Right. So now we're at the second last card. It's an uncommon, so behind it...
Gimli, Counter of the Kills. All right, I guess...
So behind that could be another poster, or could be a rare...
So, trample whenever a creature an opponent controls dies. Gimli, Counter of Kills, deals 1 damage to that creature controller. All right, let's see what's in... let's see what's behind this.
No, it's not a poster.
Oh.
We got Treebeard.
Treebeard, Eldest of the Ents.
So that is a rare Hildebrandt commander card. It's not worth very much, as I recall. The problem is it's Doran the Siege Tower, who's been reprinted many times in the past.
So each creature assigns combat damage. It's kind of a fun one, though.
It is a fun one.
Equal to its toughness rather than its power. This is an Ent house, and there are no seats, I fear. But you may sit at on the table. You are thirsty, I expect. Perhaps you are also tired. Drink this.
Yeah.
That's kind of a cool card, though.
It is kind of cool. And I used to play Doran as in a couple of my decks, too. So it is a card that I'm familiar with and like to play with. And it's Treebeard, so that's nice.
What cards should I check the price of? Gimli, maybe?
And it's foil, so that's good, too.
Yeah.
Anyway. No, Gimli's an uncommon. It's not worth much.
Okay.
You could check Lotho. You could check Treebeard here, but I don't think he's worth very much. I'll sleeve it anyway. It is a Hildebrandt. And we're on to pack 10 out of 12. 2 to go after this one.
All right. Oh my
Houston Rockets won today in basketball. Well, that's good if that's your team and follow them. I don't know much about them, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. Oh, that's.
How's your day been?
I already answered them.
Yeah.
783 for the Surge Foil Lotho.
Lotho? Probably worth more than the Treebeard, sadly. Treebeard, eldest of Ents. It is a foil, so, there's that. Wow, this package doesn't want to open nicely.
Yeah, the last one was the same for me.
We got a treasure token.
Oh, well.
And food.
The non-foil one was like, that was 1437. It doesn't say foil though.
Surrounded by orcs. 4 cost, amass orcs 3. Then target player mills X cards where X is the amassed army's power.
It doesn't have the price of the foil one, but it's probably close to the same as the foil, right? It's 1437.
Okay.
Non-foil, so I'll check out foil.
Cirith Ungol Patrol. 5 for a 4/5. Sacrifice another creature. Pay 1 tapping. Draw a card, then create a food token. Spies feared on the stairs. Double vigilance. Patrol to head of stairs. Shagrat's orders.
Okay, so Canadian, at $25 for the foil.
Interesting.
Last they had it in stock.
Right.
That's again, yeah.
The Grey Havens. When the Grey Havens enters the battlefield, scry 1. And then you can tap to add...
That art is cool, though.
1 or 1 mana of any color among legendary creature cards in your graveyard. There dwelt Sirdan the Shipwright, and some say he dwells there still until the last ship sets sail into the west.
Oof.
I still find it funny that wasteland is marked as mythic, because it was an uncommon back in Tempest.
Reprieve, we saw that one already.
Yeah, we've seen that before.
Ooh.
Stalwarts of Agiliath, we've also seen before.
We did see that one, but that one's foil.
We've seen foil and unfoil of this.
Oh, really?
This is our third of this we've pulled.
Okay. Surrounded by orcs. That looks
fun. We just pulled the non-foil of this.
That's a different art, though, isn't it? Or...
Yeah. Goblin Fire Leaper. 2 for a 1/1. Pay 2. Goblin Fire Leaper gains a +1 attack to end a turn. And when it dies, it deals damage equal to its power to target creature an opponent controls. Let us hope that fire now lies between us and pursuit. Come, there is no time to lose. This was as they were trying to escape Moria. Lost to Legend. 2 white, instant. Put target non-land historic permanent into its owner's library. 4th from the top. So it'll take a while for them to get that back. In the days of Isildur, the ruling ring passed out of all knowledge.
That is a cool looking card, though.
It is.
Ooh, island.
Yeah, it's the other island.
Nice.
So now we've got both of those pictures. There's Gondor and Rohan in the mouth of Anduin. This one might actually be close to going side by side with the other. Let me just see here. No, I don't think so. No, the scale's off.
That's too bad. It'd be neat if they had all the like lands. Hey, a big map, that'd be awesome.
So our first rare.
Okay.
Taunt from the Ramparts. Another interesting tidbit that I found with this was they reprinted 3 of the 5 legendary lands from Legends as with new arts and stuff. Hammerheim, Urborg, and Caracas all made it into this set and could be found in these packs. So that was interesting to me because those are all cards that I enjoy putting in my decks frequently.
It's a $5.51 card.
What is? Oh, that I wasn't even.
I was just.
It's
no,
a
I'm
commander
just trying
card.
I know.
5. Goad all creatures your opponents control until your next turn. Those creatures can't block. Is it not said that no foe has ever taken the Hornburg if men defended it? That's our first rare. Oh, we got Gwai here, Greatest of Eagles.
Ooh.
This one I had before in one of my previous packs.
I love the look of these, though.
5/5 for 5 flying.
W.
Whenever Gwahir attacks, target attacking creature gains flying until end of turn. At the beginning of each end step, if you gained 3 or more life this turn, create a 3/3 white bird token with flying, and whenever this creature attacks, target attacking creature gains flying until end of turn.
Looking for the foil copy of that one. It's not worth a ton.
No, I didn't think so. Oh, we got the Witch King, the Sky Scourge.
Ooh.
From the poster set there. This goes with that mace that I had before. Wraith Noble for 7. Ick. Little too expensive for my tastes, but 5/5 flying. Whenever you attack with 1 or more wraiths, exile the top X cards of your library, where X is their total power. You may play those cards this turn. Undying. When this creature dies, if it had no +1/+1 counters on it, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control with a +1/+1 counter on it.
Okay, thank you, Broly. Thanks for popping in.
Yep, thanks for coming, for sure.
Have a good night. Appreciate you.
Been great to see you out. Rangers of Ithilien.
That looks nice.
3/3 Vigilance. I think we've seen this before for 4. When Rangers enters the battlefield, gain control of up to 1 target creature.
I like it, though.
With less power, as long as you control Rangers of Ithilien. The rings tempts you. We have a new errand on this journey to ambush the men of Hirad. Next, we have Frodo, Sauron's Bane. This is the rare Frodo, unfortunately. So the next card will be an uncommon, which is a little disappointing. This is also the version... Well, this is the different treatment of this card came in the
it's
bundles.
$4.96, so
yeah, this card was printed heavily, basically, in other versions. It's an interesting version of Frodo with some interesting abilities that sort of scale up, and our uncommon is... I did not have this one.
There you go.
So there's the I think there's only 4, and I think this is the 4th of the uncommon Hildebrands that I didn't have. So yeah, that completes the uncommons that the arts were from Hildebrand. Soul Attendant for 1 white, 1/1. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, you may gain 1 life.
Okay, so this one.
This is the hollow version.
Okay, this
the foil version.
It's not hollow, but it says it's $5.49 for non-hollow.
Yeah, it's a playable card. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, you may gain a life. Goldberry came before them, holding a candle. Have peace now, she said, until the morning. Heed no nightly noises, for nothing passes the door and window here, save moonlight and starlight
it's the same
and wind off the hilltop.
Same price as like the non-hollow, so
yeah.
Some a lot of those are like that. Sometimes there's a difference, but
yeah, it's not a particularly rare card.
So second last.
We got second last pack.
So who thinks that we're gonna get another poster card? Should we get one if we haven't got a foil one yet?
Well, like I said, statistical averages, you get a foil and a non-foil in a box. But it doesn't always pan out that way, right? We've done better than average on our non-foil posters. So
this has been fun, though. I've been enjoying seeing what we get.
Good night.
Yeah, I already said that.
Yeah. So our second last pack, penultimate pack.
You need to get a ring card. Wouldn't that be amazing?
That would be amazing. I have never...
Oh, we got another one of those.
I have never opened
I like it.
the One Ring from Magic the Gathering, Lord of the Rings. That's one of the mythics I have never opened, and I've opened a fair bit, especially of set boosters.
I still think we should try and get another set.
I was hoping for one, obviously, but no dice so far.
I think we should get another set booster box.
Well, maybe if we can find one at a decent price. Birthday Escape. 1 blue sorcery.
Like
Draw a card. The ring tempts you.
I think we've had that one.
Lothlorien Lookout.
Have we?
Yes, we have. Peregrine Took we've had in the foil.
We've only got one Nazgul the whole time. Are we gonna get another?
Well, to be honest, I've seen a lot of these opened online, and even people who were opening a case of these 6 boxes,
oh really?
you'd usually only get like 1 or 2 Nazgul.
Okay.
At best, you'd get 1 in every other box, and that's probably too optimistic. It was probably more like every 3 or 4 boxes.
Okay.
Anyway, Saruman's Trickery, counter target spell, and then Amass Oryx 1. I gave you the chance of aiding me willingly. Nimrodel
we had that one, I think. Didn't we?
Watcher.
Or do we not?
I think so.
Whether it was foil or not, I don't know.
Actually, I'm not sure if we got one this time. Whenever you scry, Nimrodel Watcher gets +1 attack until end of turn and can't be blocked this turn. This ability triggers only once each turn. But there are some of us still who go abroad for the gathering of news and the watching of our enemies. Mirror Guardian. Dwarf Soldier. 4/2 for 3. When it dies, the ring tempts you. But still in sunken stars appear. But still the sunken stars appear. In the dark and windless mirror, there lies his crown in water deep till Durin wakes again from sleep.
Give me the song.
Yep. Here's the Dunedain Rangers.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah. Aragorn's people. 4/4 for 4. Human Ranger. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, if you don't control a ring bearer, the ring tempts you. Aragorn has need of his kindred. Let the Dunedain go to him in Rohan. They cut that entirely out of the movie, too.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Gorebag of Minas Morgul. 2/2 for 2. Whenever a goblin or orc you control deals combat damage to a player, you may sacrifice it. When you do, choose 1. Draw a card or create a treasure token. Next we have Basic Plains, the Shire. Next, our first rare, Sauron the Dark Lord.
Ooh, do you have that one?
I don't have one in the scroll treatment, but we did pull one of these once in a foil version.
Okay.
But not with this border. So it is a nice little pull. 6 cost for a 7/6 war to sacrifice a legendary artifact or legendary creature.
That's a $60 card.
Is it?
$60.50. So that's gonna be.
That's worth a sleeve then.
Yeah. Here I can.
It's a mythic. And yeah, whenever an opponent casts a spell, Amass Orcs 1. Whenever an army you control deals combat damage to a player, the ring tempts you. Whenever the ring tempts you, you may discard your hand. If you do, draw 4 cards. This is one of the cards that is also worth a lot if you get the poster version.
Okay.
Which this obviously is not. Model of Unity. Add 1 mana of any color artifact for 3. Whenever players finish voting, you and each opponent who voted for a choice you voted for may scry 2. Rivendell is a perfect house, whether you like food or sleep or storytelling, or a pleasant mixture of them all.
That's not worth much.
Didn't think so.
Mirkwood.
Put that here for now.
Channeler.
At the beginning of combat turn, target elf you control gains trample +X until end of turn, where X is the number of forests you control.
That again, also not worth much.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Glowin, Dwarf Emissary.
That looks fun.
Don't think it was particularly valuable. Sacrifice a treasure to goad target creature. 3/3 for 3. Whenever you cast a historic spell, treasure token, this ability triggers only once each turn. Okay. So we've got Legolas, and it's the uncommon Legolas. So there could be a rarer poster behind this. It's a 2/3 for 4. Elf Archer with Reach. Whenever you scry, if Legolas counter of kills is tapped, you may untap it. Do this only once each turn, and whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Legolas. So let's see what our last card is. It is not a poster. Pact of Negation. So this is a rare. It's one of the Hildebrands, and it is worth a couple bucks, I believe. Counter target spell, cost 0, and at the beginning of your next upkeep, pay 5. If you don't, you lose the game.
A couple bucks, yeah. It's 45, 44.
Nice.
Nice card.
This is the non-foil version.
Yeah, that doesn't say foil.
Yeah.
So, nice.
At that moment, Gandalf lifted his staff, and crying aloud, he smote the bridge before him. So, yeah.
Not a bad card.
Iconic moment from the Hildebrand
It's some
brothers.
nice art, too.
Yeah, Gandalf facing off against the Balrog.
Nice.
Nice.
That's nice. Cool. Well, hey, you did good. We did good with this box. I mean, again, for what we paid for it, we did good.
Yeah. I mean, for what they're going for now, you basically need to hit
a big one, yeah.
Like either a foil One Ring poster in general, or like any serialized card.
Yeah.
One or the other. Like those are the only two things that
the serialized cards like
this
obvious?
Is last pack. They're fairly obvious, yes.
Okay.
Ooh,
last pack?
Last pack of the box.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe we just opened this. Like
the whole stinking thing. It's been nice. We got a few neat hits. No super huge hits. We haven't had any $100 plus cards.
Yeah.
Which there are some. But
how much does a single one of these go for now?
A single booster?
Yeah.
I mean, they used to be about $40-45, but now I think they're closer to $150 a pack or something. Like,
yeah.
So, you know, judging by when we bought it, we're doing fine. If you're looking at what it's actually worth now, nowhere near. Oh man, I'm trying to keep it on camera, but this is just not cooperating.
There you go. 3 hands. Make it better. Okay, last pack. We got a.
So we got a soldier token, human soldier, and on the back of that we have food. Because of course it's food. Haradrim Spearmaster. 2/3 for 3. Reach at the beginning of combat on your turn. Another target creature you control gets +1/+0 until end of turn. In the south, the Hadrim are moving, and the fear has fallen on our coastlands. Aaron Rider of Gondor. Many partings.
Oh, I like that art.
Search your library for a basic land. Search it, reveal it. Yeah, create a food token. We've seen this before. Faramir.
I think we saw that too.
Field Commander. We have in the foil anyway. Friendly Rivalry. Green and red. Instant. Target creature you control and up to one other target legendary creature you control each deal damage equal to their power creature you don't control. 42, Master Legolas.
Oh,
Mordor Muster. Draw a card. You draw a card and lose 1 life and amass orcs 1 for 2. Yeah, let's read the flavor text. Orcs, thousands of orcs. Nice, hobbits mustn't go those places. Then we've got Smite the Deathless. So
that is an interesting looking card.
Yeah, here again is Eowyn standing up to the Witch King, which is the same art that's on the front of the box there, or the same scene portrayed by a very different artist. Anyway, Smite the Deathless deals 3 damage to target creature. That creature loses indestructible until end of turn. If that creature would die this turn, exile it instead. No living man am I. Shadowfax.
I love it.
Lord of Horses. See, that's the thing that's nice about this being our first box of this, and probably only box of this, but you never know. We'll see about that other one maybe one day, but for now, is that all these commons and uncommons I didn't have in this treatment. So a lot of these cards are just sort of new to my collection because of that. So that's really, really nice. I'm going to have to add a few pages to my binder just for these scroll ones, basically. Horses you control have haste. It's a 4/4 for 5. Whenever Shadowfax Lord of Horses attacks, you may put a creature card with less power from your hand onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking. So that could be some value there too.
Is that foil?
Yes. Shadow Summoning. Black and white. Create 2 tapped 1/1 white spirit creature.
Why is it not worth much? It's such a pretty card.
It is a pretty card, but there's lots of them out there. And it's not like it's you need the right deck for it. It's not going to go in every deck by a long shot. Whose shall the horn be? Who shall call them from the gray twilight? The forgotten people, the heir of him to whom they the oath they swore. Malbrith the Seer. We got another mountain.
Nice.
Again, the White Mountains.
Did we get the same mountain every time?
Sharky, Tyrant of the Shire. I might not have this one in my set either. So this could be another way to fill a hole in my set. We'll have to see. So 2/4 for 4. You know what I've never pulled in any pack of any set?
What?
Or sorry, in any pack of the Lord of the Rings stuff is the rare version of Gollum. I haven't got the ring treatment. I haven't got the regular treatment. I haven't got, just for some reason, the rare Gollum has always eluded me. Anyway, but here's Sharky, Tyrant of the Shire, back during the Scouring of the Shire when he had taken over.
Also not worth
Activated abilities of lands your opponent's controls can't be activated unless they're mana abilities. Sharky, Tyrant of the Shire, has all activated abilities of lands your opponents control, except mana abilities. Mana of any type can be spent to activate Sharky's abilities. So that's kind of cool. If your opponent likes to have special lands, he's good at swiping their abilities. Next rare, we got a foil Rivendell. Rivendell, foil scroll border.
That's nice.
Enters the battlefield tapped unless you control a legendary creature. You can tap it for blue or pay 2 and tap it to scry 2 only if you have a legendary creature. Were I to go where my heart dwells, I would now be wandering in the fair valley of Rivendell.
Okay, so that one's a foil, you said?
Yep.
Okay, well, the non-foil is $8.87.
Mists of Lorien. Replicate. Return target non-land permanent and each other non-land permanent with the same mana value of that permanent to their owner's hand. And you can replicate it
Yeah, that's not...
multiple times.
Ooh.
Then we got the Fall of Kar Andros.
That's nice. I like that art.
The art is nice.
What's happening is not nice.
Yeah.
But the art
Whenever
is
a
nice.
creature an opponent controls is dealt excess combat damage, amass Oryx X, where X is the excess damage. Pay 8, and it deals 7 damage to target creature. So let's see here what we got. Uncommon, Mary Brandybuck. So last pack,
Okay, come
magic, last card after Mary Brandybuck. For every whenever one or more halflings you control attacks, create a food. I like the Mary, but let's see what we got.
I'm kind of nervous.
Is it a poster?
It is?
It is a poster. It's a foil poster.
Ooh!
It is Watcher of the Water, which is one of the worst ones. But it is a foil poster, and that means we got 4 posters in the box.
Well, there we go.
So, that's our first foil poster.
Okay. Watcher.
Watcher in the Water.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
So 4 posters is good. But to be honest, the Mount Doom was the only one that would be considered a good one that we pulled.
It's $41 for the non-hollow. I don't know. The cereal one would have been $981.
Well, obviously, yeah. Cereals are always like $1,000 or close to.
But I mean, honestly, I don't know. I don't see the foil version on here.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not horrible.
So that's our foily poster. And then we got 3 non-foil posters. Mount Doom being the best. Spiteful Banditry, Hugh the Entwood.
It's probably the same price, like in foil. Let's look it up on 401.
We did get a nice... Is that foil? No, it's not foil.
It's not foil, but it's still worth a
non-foil
pretty penny.
Sauron the Dark Lord with the scroll border. We did pull a Nazgul. We didn't pull any of the legendary lands. But
okay, so on
this was our only Realms and Relics pull, which is probably not unusual. I think it's not too common to get more than, say, 2 in a box anyway.
So 401 has a foil card,
but,
$5.
Not the worst one you could pull by a long shot.
Okay. 401 has a foil card of this, $5 more.
Okay.
So.
For our Hildebrandt arts, our best one was the Pact of Negation, I believe. But we also got all the other uncommons I was missing. Actually, I think we got the whole set of uncommons here. We got Treebeard, Eldest Events. A Second Harvest I already had. But the uncommons, I think I've completed the set of now. We got Elvish Harbingers, foil and non-foil. We got the Explorer, the Myriad Landscape, and the Soul's Attendant. So I think that's all the uncommons, at least one version of each. And then a couple of the rares. So.
What goal would we have to meet on our channel to even consider opening that other box?
It would have to be something big, like...
Yeah.
I don't know. This was for 2,000. I would say at least 5 or 10,000, like, subscribers. Something massive like that.
Yeah. That's our personal goal, though, because I know there's not too many people.
And with my luck, it would be a worse box, and half the hits would be ones we'd just opened. Like, it would be more repairs.
Yeah,
more repeats.
maybe.
So, that's the thing with these boxes, diminishing returns. The more you open, the less special the stuff you're opening is.
Yeah.
So, but
we
yeah.
did okay, though.
We did okay. I'd say these both make the top hits. The Wastelands makes the top hits. The Pact of Negation makes the top hits. All the posters make top hits. What are these? These are mostly Like, what did you suspect the negation was?
I don't. Was it? Did I say 40?
Yeah, most of these seem to be sort of $40
We had a couple
or
$60
better.
cards.
What was the weakest poster card we had? You said the Spiteful Banditry was like 25 or something?
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know. Or was it the Hue? Anyway.
I don't know.
And then the Watcher. What, you just looked this one up. What was it again?
That one, okay, so it was like $60 Canadian last time they had one in stock at 4-1.
Okay, Canadian. So
yeah,
like $40 again.
We
got a bunch of $40 cards, so that's not.
We got like two $60 cards.
That's not too shabby.
Because the Mount Doom one, I think, was a $60 US again.
Yeah.
So I think.
And there's a bunch of cards in the sort of $5 to $10 range too. So I think you said Treebeard here was about 20.
Yeah, I think
25
so.
Maybe Canadian.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And I think we got our money back for what we spent on this box.
Yeah, pretty close anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a neat box, and it'll certainly be nice to put these through. I'm just checking the numbers here. 750, 734, 738, 737. So some of these are almost sequential. Those two are. And then this one's a little out of step, but that's fine. It's one of the better ones. So, anyway. We did okay. I mean, honestly.
Yeah. It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. We got some good hits.
You got some common cards and uncommons that you didn't have any copy of either, too. So, I mean...
I'm going to have to check if that was my 8th Nazgul or my 9th, because I might actually be able to put together a play set soon.
Yeah.
If not now.
Do you want to switch to your face?
Oh, if we must.
If we must. Oh, sorry for the lighting.
Let's not put that on top of it.
I'm trying not to. Yeah. How many cards are in this set? A lot. I don't know how many. That's a chair. Nobody's sitting over there.
Yeah.
So I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I know it was drawn out, but we had to take our time with this.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
These are beautiful.
8, 9, 10, 11. Did we pull one out of the stack? I guess we must have. I was trying to keep track.
The surge foils are just gorgeous.
Oh yeah, we had a hit that we had to sleeve up or something that came out of this stack. That was the Wasteland.
Okay.
The Wasteland was in the stack.
Yeah.
So this is the stack that came before, and they're not exactly in order anymore. But the second last card, if you got an uncommon, that means your last one would be a rare, which could be either a poster card or one of the rare Hildebrands.
Oh, sorry.
And so in that second last slot, we had one uncommon, 2 uncommons, 3. No, this is a rare. This is the rare Frodo. We had 3 uncommons. This was another one of our rares in that slot. We had, or was that in that slot? Yeah, it's a search foil, right? Peregrine Took is another uncommon, so that's 4. Frodo uncommon is 5. Boromir, Watcher of the Tower, that's a rare. Samwise, so that's 6. We had Gandalf, 7. This one's a rare. And we had a Realms and Relics. Our Realm and Relics Surge Foil also came in that slot. So, out of 12 packs, 7 of our last cards were rares. So 3 of those were in the Hildebrands, the Treebeard, the Doubling Season, or Second Harvest, sorry, and the Pact of Negation. Pact of Negation.
Sorry.
It was a nice hit.
It's hard to get
and then the other 4 of those 7 were the poster cards. So, worked out nicely in terms of the math. That part, as expected. Would have liked, obviously, the poster cards to be the better poster cards. A little bit more often.
But they're not bad
But
at
Mount
all.
Doom was a good one.
Yeah.
And they're not, obviously not bad. And nice variety, and good to have some samples of poster cards.
Yeah.
which I didn't really have before. So
Yeah.
I think we had the Archon of Injustice from the Duskmorn TV tin. It was my only other poster card, and it came later and is obviously very different. So
Yeah.
But now I've got a sampling of the poster cards for my collection binder, and
happy we didn't pay the current price of the booster.
Very
box.
much so. A little disappointed. I've still never pulled a One Ring from a pack. I've still never pulled a Golem from a pack. There's some cards that still just keep eluding me. But I think I got at least 2 cards that'll fill holes in my set, even though they're a different version. But that's a little bit of progress. Plus, more on this end with the surges and the another Realms and Relics hit, which I didn't have, and a pretty decent one. And yeah, overall, some good stuff, which I was more or less what I was hoping or expecting. I think that's fair to say. You didn't.
Next Monday's
you didn't get Legolas's quick reflexes.
No.
Shucks.
Next Monday's gonna be a little different because we're taking Abram to the airport.
Yes.
So provided he's healthy at that time. Got some kind of tummy bug or something going through the house.
Yeah, he's gonna have his big trip starting a week from today.
Yeah.
So
we're
looking forward to that.
Do we want to do a video to go up so in case we don't get back, and you're gonna be really tired for a stream?
I don't know whether we want to do something in advance or not. We'll figure that out closer to time.
That's for Magic Night, but Thursday, if it gets here in time.
This was our best hit among the commons. Got a foil Lorien revealed. It's a nice little common as far as that goes.
So Thursday, if it gets here in time, I plan on opening the do some Duck Duck Goose games probably. The Terapagos UPC. I happen to get some from Walmart coming on the way. So
not Walmart, but yeah.
Not Walmart, Costco. So yeah. That's all I know that we're doing right now. And then who knows what the weekend's gonna hold. So we'll do stuff. But we're gonna be busy getting Abram ready too and trying to get everything ready in time. So but this is exciting. Thank you everybody who's been here.
It's very exciting. I enjoyed this box very much. And I hope you enjoyed it too.
2,000 subscribers. That's awesome.
It is awesome.
So
this was a lot of fun.
Did we we got a couple more subscribers, so during the stream, which is, good. Nice. But I'm gonna see. I think we should find somebody to go. I don't know. Everybody doesn't always raid, but I've got a whole bunch of highlights there. They're all 5 minutes. We're gonna have to
trim them down, or just discard them because we didn't hit any of the super massive hits, which is a little unfortunate. But like I said, we got a lot of cool stuff, fun stuff, which will slot very nicely into my current collection because it just seems like that One Ring of any version, like I said, keeps eluding me, and that's the biggest hit in the set. So
yeah.
But we got a nice Gandalf too. I should pull that one out here. That's a decent.
Pull the Gandalf out. Show the people the Gandalf. And meanwhile, I'm gonna find somebody to go and bug. Who are we gonna go find?
Got a nice scroll border mythic Gandalf.
Oh, James and Elena is
with the
live.
Silver foiling Gandalf the White.
We're gonna go bug James and Elena.
Nice little card. That can go in with the hits.
So yeah, James and Elena's live. I don't know what's going on over there, what they're doing. Let me just kind of see. Where are they? James and Elena. Where are you, James and Elena? I'm not seeing them. Let's see. As soon as I say we're gonna go bug somebody, everybody goes away.
Yep, that's usually...
It's been a while since I've been on one of their streams, so let's go and bug them. Oh no, it's lagging for me. Okay. We've got 8 people watching right now. So we'll head over there. We'll say Spokat Raid. I can probably put the link in the description just in case. Or not in the description. In the chat. And then yeah, we'll just say spoke at raid and hit the like button, give them some love. And we'll see you guys next Thursday. See you Thursday. If not before, because who knows if we'll have a pop-up stream.
Yeah, who knows?
But just give me a second. I'll put the link in the chat if you guys want me to do that. If it's gonna do it for me. Why is it being so slow? Okay, come on. It's been a while since I've caught a James and Lana stream, so there we go. I do have the redirect set up, so you guys can click that. I don't know what else we want to say. Thank you guys for being here, though. Thank you for all your support and for the watch hours and just hanging
helps.
out. Everything. It's been great.
Absolutely. Just looking at some of these poster cards and how they sort of fit together here. I didn't complete any of them, obviously, with a single box, but
that's cool.
I got a couple that go side by side.
So yeah, if anyone has questions, ask now or forever hold your peace. There's so many nice.
I would need extra hands to hold all these together because that goes on the side there, and
the lighting.
The light, and the Witch King goes up above it.
Cool.
And then I got the mace that goes up here too for my previous.
So we're just missing the other one?
Yeah, just missing the far corner for this set.
Okay. Sorry that light
But again, we already got the poster collection, so we already have these. It's
still kind of cool.
It is kind
of All right, cool. Guys. I think we're gonna call it here.
Fun.
We appreciate you. We'll do a recap or something. But it was a good stream and we're pretty happy with what we got out of this box.
Yeah.
So again, we're thankful that we didn't have to pay the full price that it is right now, because that would have been pretty sad and disappointing, but overall we're happy. So thank you guys for hanging out with us. Let us know in the comments what you think is your favorite pull of the night. Yeah, who knows, we might at some point put together some prize packs and do a giveaway
we'll see
at some point.
See what I got for doubles.
But yeah, we'll figure it out. But make sure you keep watching, and we'll see you guys soon. It's late.
Sure
we need to get sleep. But thank you for hanging out with us.
Yep. Thanks for all your support, and have a good night.
We couldn't be here without you guys, so thanks a bunch. My favorite card, I don't know. It probably isn't even one of the big cards. Shadowfax. It's Shadowfax. No. Okay, bye guys. We'll see you guys soon. Make sure you stick around for the raid. Spoke at raid. I'll just say just say spoke at raid. Appreciate ya. See you soon. Bye for now. Have a good night.
Bye.